Sailing, full level Lightning Dragon Slayer, build the Fairy Tail Emperor. Author, Pirates. Synopsis. After crossing the pirates, Tsuyu awakened the Fairy Tail system, obtained the full level Thunder Dragon Slayer magic at the beginning, and created the Fairy Tail Guild. As long as you complete the commission to upgrade the guild, you can get rewards. Guild level 3, unlock Fairy Queen Erza. Guild level 5, unlock the Demon Mirajan. Guild level unlocks Kaido of the Beasts. Is this guy's power dedicated to killing dragons? Hawkeye Hook, Fairy Queen Erza, fight me. Marshal Sengoku, Fairy Tail, a terrifying organization over the 4 emperors. Whitebeard, Chairman Tsuyu, I have an entrustment. Damn Fairy Tail, why are you so strong? Tsuyu, because we are Fairy Tail, BGM. In addition to fighting Erza, Mirajane, Nami, Juvia, Robin, Vivi, Wendy, Irene, President, whose brand is to be turned tonight. Chapter 1 Fairy Tale of One Piece World. New book for flower evaluation. See Circle Calendar 1519, East Blue. On the boundless sea, a ship drifts with the waves, or, to be more precise, a special houseboat. The ship has a deck, a mast and sails, and a house. There is a unique symbol in the center of the house, the sails and the flag on the top of the mast. It's not the pirate skull flag, but the guild logo. The name of the ship, Fairy Tail! Guild name, Fairy Tail! Fairy Tale of the One Piece World! The afterglow of the setting sun shines through the windows and sprinkles all over the ground. Tsuyu sat calmly on the comfortable fur chair. In front of his eyes, there is a panel that only he can see. Fairy Tail LV5? President, Tsuyu. Lost magic, Thunder Dragon Slayer magic 100%. Dragon Slayer mystery has been unlocked. Thunder Dragon King mode to be unlocked. Guild members, S-level Mage Fairy Queen Erza, S-level Receptionist Demon Mirajan. 33% from the next level. Fairy Tail system, this is Tsuyu's portable cheat. 3 months ago, Tsuyu came to this world, awakened the Fairy Tail system. Create a Fairy Tail Guild. As long as you continue to complete the commission, you can upgrade the guild. At the same time, you can also randomly obtain the magical power of the Fairy Tail world and summon the partners of the Fairy Tail Guild. Also, the system also thoughtfully prepared a gift package for beginners. What Tsuyu got from it was the Fairy Tail Guild's S-rank Wizard Luxus template. After 3 months of hard work, Tsuyu's Thunder Dragon slaying magic is almost complete. The Fairy Tail Guild ship was also built. Besides, what satisfies Tsuyu most is that he is no longer alone. In the past 3 months, he has continuously completed commissions and upgraded the guild, which allowed him to obtain 2 partners. Fairy Queen Erza, one of the S-class mages in Fairy Tail, also one of the protagonists. Extraordinary combat power. What's more important is to have the power of idealism. Once the chest cloth is worn and the BGM sounds, it won't work for anyone. And the Devil Mirajan, also an S-class mage from Fairy Tail. The character is even more gentle, sweet, and white-haired. Simply a man's dream lover. Certainly. The most important thing, whether it is Erza or Mirajan, their favorability towards Tsuyu through summoning is 100% full from the very beginning. This means Tsuyu is their most important person. No matter what Tsuyu asks for, they will give it. Even the extraordinarily rude request in that respect. President. A sweet girl's voice sounded. Mirajan, a beautiful white-haired girl in a white dress, brought a glass of fine wine to Tsuyu. Tsuyu embraced it with a big hand, and brought it into his arms amidst the girl's tender voice. President, it's still daytime. Please wait until night. Mirajan's pretty face was reddish, and her voice was thin and weak. That's right, then simply feed me. Tsuyu smiled slightly. Mirajan sighed. He picked up the wine glass on the table and drank it down, then leaned over. 3 minutes later. Jingle bell tilde. The guild bell rang. Break the good vibe here. Why did you choose this time? Tsuyu frowned in dissatisfaction. President, you must actively treat every job entrustment. This is what you said. Mirajan reacted quickly. She had already left Tsuyu, and said solemnly, Yes. Go and prepare for the reception. Tsuyu shook his head and agreed. The endless sea, a small fishing boat without even a cabin, was ups and downs in the wind and waves, as if it might capsize at any time, but it has always been steady. Being able to do this can only show that the manipulator of the boat is a very good navigator. He has a keen observation and precise judgment on the current and wind direction. If anyone sees it, it is bound to be a shocking discovery. It is not some senior seaman who possesses such superb navigation skills. It was a girl with orange hair who was 16 or 17 years old. Ah, I found it. At a certain moment, the orange-haired girl Nami exclaimed in surprise. Through the binoculars, she saw the houseboat on the sea not far away. There is no mistake. That symbol is the entrusted guild that has been active in East Blue recently, Fairy Tail. Nami clenched his fists, feeling a little nervous in his heart. The first time I heard Fairy Tail was a month ago. Stealing at the reception of the upper class. Nami learned of the existence of Fairy Tail from the reception staff. Know that this is an organization dedicated to helping others solve problems. Certainly, The premise is to pay a certain amount of money. At first, Nami just thought this was some new money fraud organization and didn't care. He was even thinking about when to sneak in and make a fortune. However, within the past month, by chance, she came into contact with several villages that had cooperated with Fairy Tail. From the gaudy descriptions of the villagers, Nami felt that his initial judgment was wrong. This guild named Fairy Tail seems to be unusual. 3 days ago, after hearing that the overlord of East Blue, the Creek Pirates, was also overthrown by Fairy Tail, Nami finally made up his mind. She wants to try it. Try sending a quest to Fairy Tail, seeking a glimmer of hope for Kokoyasi village and the 20 surrounding villages. Looking at the big ship in front of him, Nami took a deep breath and rang the service bell on the side of the ship. Jingle bell tilde. Chapter 2 Nami's commission. The reward is 2 billion. Seek evaluation of flowers. Miss, this way please. The president is already waiting. The white-haired beautiful girl Mirajan opened the door of the office and made a gesture of invitation to Nami. Thanks. Nami nodded and stepped in. What do you want to entrust? Suyu turned the swivel chair gracefully. I just finished tasking. He couldn't help frowning slightly. He already recognized the orange-haired girl in front of him. This is also a matter of course. As a traverser, how could he fail to recognize the girl in front of him? A member of the protagonist group Straw Hat Crew. Nami, the genius navigator, the pilfering cat, and, for what Nami came here for, he already knows it all. It's time to eradicate the evil dragon gang! Feels Suyu's sharp eyes suddenly. Nami's delicate body trembled, and panic arose in her heart. Don't be nervous, miss. Have a sip of tea, and then tell us your commission. Mirajan handed over a cup of hot tea and spoke softly. Nami took a sip of tea and collected himself. Immediately, he unreservedly told the story of Arlong and his gang's troubles. How could this be? It's too much. The kind-hearted Mirajan's pretty face was moved, and she looked at Nami with sympathy and affection. Please drive Arlong and his gang out of Kokoyasi village and East Blue. This is my commission. Nami bowed solemnly to request. So, what about the reward? How much commission did you prepare? Suyu asked. 1 million berry. Nami said. Of course she could come up with more. But, at first, she didn't know the details of this guild. It is not clear whether Suyu will be able to deal with Arlong. Second, if you explain the truth as soon as you come up, there will be less room for bargaining. At last, although it is hearsay, Nami heard that Suyu took over the commission to solve the East Blue Overlord Greek, and only received 10,000 berry as a reward. Compared with 10,000 berry, the 1 million berry given by myself is already high enough. Only, Miss Nami, 1 million berry. Don't you think this remuneration is slightly inconsistent with what you entrusted? Suyu looked at Nami with a half smile. He knows about Nami's property of being a money fan. Arlong's problems, of course, have to be addressed. But before that, it is also necessary to beat this little money fan properly. I also know the danger of this entrustment. President Su, you just say, as long as you can get rid of Arlong and his gang, no matter what the price is, I'm willing to pay. Nami gritted his teeth and said firmly. In that case, then I'm not going to be polite. I want this number. Suyu smiled and stretched out 2 fingers. 2 million, Nami said. Suyu shook his head. Then, 20 million? Nami asked tentatively. At this price, it was barely within her acceptable range. However, Suyu still shook his head. It can't be 200 million. The corners of Nami's mouth twitched. This offer was slightly beyond her expectations. But, gritting his teeth, he was still able to cope. However, it was beyond Nami's expectations. Suyu still shook his head. Made his own offer. 2 billion, a village of 100 million. I will make Arlong and his gang disappear from this world. Suyu said seriously. Nani. 2 billion. Nami stood up awkwardly. I shouted robbery in my heart. Mirazen's beautiful eyes widened unexpectedly, obviously also frightened by Suyu's offer. In the work entrusted so far, she learned that Suyu was not keen on the reward for the commission. If you have money, get more. If you don't have money, get less. Sometimes even a meal will do. It's like a commission from Greek, the overlord of the East Blue. What Nami learned was that the reward was 10,000 berry. But actually all Suyu wanted was a glass of water and a bowl of rice. But, right now, for the girls who suffered the same misery, Suyu gave a sky-high price of 2 billion. Although she didn't know why, Mirajan had 100% trust in Suyu, knowing that he must have his own considerations for this move, so she didn't say much. How about it, Miss Nami? My quotation is indeed a little high, but it's definitely worth it. Suyu smiled. Nami bit her red lips tightly, without saying a word. A village of 100 million Baileys. This is also within her acceptable range, because she originally wanted to buy Kokoyasi village from Arlong with 100 million Baileys. If Suyu proposes 100 million, she may hesitate a little and then agree. But, right now it's 2 billion. Not just Kokoyasi village. Instead, 20 villages were tied together. This is far beyond her ability. You must know that she has worked hard to save money for so many years. There is still a long way to go before the small goal of 100 million. 2 billion. This is an impossible task. Sure enough, it still doesn't work. Nami pursed her lips, ready to leave. Don't give up in a hurry. The guild supports installment payment. The down payment is 1 berry, and the rest can be paid back slowly by working part-time. It just so happens that I am still short of a few manpower. Suyu smiled. Oh, Mirojan was stunned. She finally knew the real reason for Suyu's outrageous offer. The feeling is that he fell in love with the little girl and wanted to keep her. Whether you want to continue entrusting, you can think about it slowly. Myra, send Miss Nami to rest. Suyu said. Yes, President. Mirojan complied. After a few minutes, Mirojan, who settled Nami, returned to Suyu. Looking at Suyu with beautiful big eyes, her small mouth puffed up slightly. What's wrong? Suyu stroked Mirojan's little head. HMPH. The president is really playful. He obviously already has us. Mirojan said. Jealous. The smile on Suyu's face became more intense. Who is jealous? Mirojan denied it flustredly, her eyes flickering. Haha. Suyu embraced her with a big hand, and lovingly brought Mirezen into her arms. You think too much, Myra. I want to keep Nami for the future development of the guild. Suyu said seriously. Real? Mirojan looked suspicious. Certainly. Suyu said seriously. As I said, I will be going to the Grand Line soon. The weather there is changeable, and it will be difficult to move without a good navigator. Nami is the talent we are looking for. Miss Nami is a navigator? Ordinary people can't sail alone at sea. It seems to be too. Myra nodded slightly. So, where are we going next? Shall we meet Erza first? No need. Go directly to Kokoyasi village. Suyu said. Chapter 3 Nami's resolution. In the blink of an eye, Arlong was wiped out. Seek evaluation of flowers. 2 billion. Bandit. Robbery. How about good quality and low price? What about the good old man? Why come to me? 2 billion. I can't save that much even if I work till I die. Nami in the fairy tale guildroom wanted to cry but could not stop complaining and slandering in her heart. But there are benefits to being expensive. If you can really solve Arlong's group and save everyone, no matter how much you pay, it will be worth it. But what does the installment payment that the president said mean? Let me work here to pay back the money. Tonight is destined to be a sleepless night for the little thief, Nami. The next day, until 9 o'clock in the morning, Nami finally walked out of the room with a pair of panda eyes. Good morning, Miss Nami. Mirojan delivered a delicious breakfast with a smile. Thank you, Miss Myra. Nami said thanks. Chatted with Mirojan one after another. From Mirojan's mouth, Nami is more certain about one of her conjectures. Where is President Suyu? Where is the president now? After breakfast, Nami made up her mind. The president's words are already waiting for you on the deck. Mirojan said. Nami nodded lightly, and immediately pushed the door out, walking behind Suyu. How are you thinking? Miss Nami, you don't have much time left. Suyu stared ahead without looking back, and spoke calmly. Nami was taken aback. Look around. The pupils of the beautiful eyes shrank suddenly, until Suyu reminded. It was only then that she finally discovered that this was a sea area she was all too familiar with. Far away, a tiny black spot can be seen. That is her hometown, Kokoyasi village! This moment, Nami knows, Suyu is definitely not trying to scam her out of money. It's not like trying to scare her off with a sky-high price of 2 billion. Suyu dispelled all the worries in Nami's heart with practical actions. Nami took a deep breath, ready to put all his eggs in one basket. President Suyu, please help me expel the Arlong gang. Nami took out a berry coin from his pocket and handed it to Suyu. Your commission, I take it. Suyu smiled slightly and took Nami's coin. At this time, clatter tilde. The sea surged. A huge manatee broke through the sea and stopped in front of Fairy Tale. That's the sea beast raised by Arlong's gang, Manatee Moo. Nami was startled. His pupils shrank suddenly. Just wanted to sound a reminder. Next second, Suyu pointed his finger down. Click! Ken Gold's lightning flashed. The Manatee Moo was burnt black on the spot and sank into the sea. Under Nami's shocked and dull expression, Fairy Tale is on full throttle and headed straight for Arlong land. In a minute, boom! The sea gate of Arlong's paradise was knocked open. The Murlocs who had a wanton banquet for fun in the early morning suddenly turned pale with fright. Who is it? Who is so bold? Don't you know this is our territory? No matter who you are, you dare to disturb our banquet, you will die today. The Murlocs cursed angrily. Listening to the abuse of the Murlocs, Nami, who was immersed in the shock, was shocked and finally recovered. The resentment and anger accumulated in my heart for many years burst out at this moment. Arlong. Nami plucked up the courage to stand on the bow of the boat and shouted angrily. Nami, am I reading that right? That's Nami. Boss Arlong. Nami drove that boat. Hey, Nami. Did you take the wrong medicine today? How dare you do this? You know the consequences, right? Facing the anger and threats from the Murlocs, Nami remained unmoved and just stared at Arlong. Arlong, I've had enough. What you've done to me, to Kokoyasi village, will end today. You won't be allowed to do whatever you want. Nami shouted decisively. Hearing this, the audience was silent at first, and then burst into deafening laughter. Ha 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 ha, did I hear you right? Just because you, a weak human being, still want to take revenge on us? Hey, Nami, It's fine if we can't listen to this sentence. Traitors can only die. Brother Arlong, since Nami said so, how about we kill everyone in this village in front of her today? Good idea, I agree. The pompous stupid Murlocs laugh out loud. Ha 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 ha. On the beach chair, the sawtooth sharkman Arlong laughed and stood up. Nami, since you dare to say this, it seems that you have found a backer. Arlong's eyes fell on the fairy tale symbol. Brother Arlong, that seems to be a guild that's been active in East Blue recently. I remember it's called Fairy Tale, the Murloc said in a deep voice. Fairy Tale? I don't know what a great backer, and this is the end? Nami, a shrewd woman like you will be deceived, and it is really stupid to believe that an unknown guy can defeat me. The Murloc Arlong sneered and sneered. Nami looked determined, unwavering. After witnessing the scene of Suyu killing the sea beast in seconds, she no longer has the slightest doubt about Suyu's strength. Although I don't know what this man promised you to make you do such a rebellious thing, but I don't know if you can still be like this when I throw his head in front of you. Arrogant? Murloc Arlong stared at Suyu beside Nami, grinning cruelly. However, next second, Murloc Arlong's pupils shrank suddenly, because Suyu, who was locked in his sight, suddenly disappeared. Kai. Ken Gold's lightning flashed. Suyu has already come to Arlong. The huge oppressive force made Arlong back unconsciously. After he realized that he was actually intimidated by the weak humans, Arlong couldn't help but become angry from embarrassment. Was that your last word before? Suyu said indifferently. Asshole, you're just a mere person. Arlong grabbed the peak-cutting sort of sword at the side, but he didn't raise his hand, and he didn't finish his sentence. Kai. Electric arcs flickered through Suyu's hair. Suyu raised his right hand and swung it down lightly. Boom. Rumble. What resounded through the sky was the roar of thunder, brighter than the sun. A thunder beam of golden and crimson interlaced fell from the sky and landed on the Murloc Arlong. In an instant, everything stops for Murloc Arlong, whether it is action, speech or life. His body turned into a coke-like color, and then shattered on the spot, turning into a piece of slag. Enlil, the thunder fruit-capable user in this world, can't kill people with lightning, but Suyu can. Chapter 4. Arlong and his gang are all wiped out. Nuclear level Marine 166 branch. Seek evaluation of flowers. Thunder, the most violent elemental power in the world. In terms of attack power, it should be number 1. People with thunder fruit abilities in this world can't be killed by electricity. But Suyu's lightning dragon slayer magic is different. Treat pure evil like Arlong. Suyu directly cast the strongest dragon slayer thunder. No mercy at all. At the fingertips, the Murloc Arlong was wiped out. Under the power of Ultimate's thunder, his body turned into coke and shattered all over the place. This sudden and shocking scene made everyone in the room dumbfounded. I don't know how long it has been. Deadly. Dead. Brother Arlong. Brother is dead. Brother was killed by that human. Monster. That guy is a monster. Run away, with their backs against Arlong. The tyrannical Murlocs immediately scattered like a tree falling, and fled in all directions. If I let you escape, the name of Fairy Tale will be ashamed, Suyu said lightly. While speaking, his fingers glow. Lightning bomb. One after another, tiny lightning bombs flew out from his fingertips. Boom. Rumble. Horrible explosions sounded into pieces. In an instant, Arlong Paradise is a charred ruin. One after another, charred Murloc corpses were scattered. Humans, do you really want to kill us all? The Murloc Ruby suppressed his fear and stopped drinking sharply. When you rely on your own force to oppress goodness and act recklessly here, you should have thought that such a day would come, Suyu said indifferently. Bastard. Murloc Karate, 4000. Click. A golden light flashed. Murloc Kardakro Obi, dead. Another iron gun. Murloc Kardaja trembled in fear. Not daring to have the slightest thought of resistance, he jumped into the sea without looking back. The other dozen or so surviving Murlocs followed suit. The sea is their domain. No matter how strong humans are, they cannot chase them in the sea. This is a deep-rooted idea in the hearts of the Murlocs. Under normal circumstances, it is indeed true. Only, today is different. Suyu submerged one hand in the water. Things like electric fish are forbidden in my original world, but Kai. Rumble. A golden arc shrouded the sea area thousands of meters away from Fangyuan. Countless large and small sea fish turned white and floated above the sea. At the same time, there were more than a dozen Murlocs who had escaped. The Murloc group that ruled this sea area for 8 years and wantonly exploited the poor people has now disappeared. On the bow of Fairy Tale, Nami was holding onto the rails of the boat with both hands, staring wide-eyed, watching the end of the Murlocs without blinking. Arlong is dead, and the Murlocs who oppressed them are dead. Belmel's vengeance has been avenged. The village is free! This moment in Nami's life, the haze that lasted 7 years has all dissipated. 7 years of grievances poured out at this moment. Nami, who took off her strong disguise, burst into tears like a child. Miss Nami, it's all right. Mirajan gently hugged Nami into her arms and comforted her softly. Cry, it will be fine after you cry. Suyu returned to the boat. Myra, I will leave the aftermath work here to you temporarily. I will go out for a while. President, hasn't Nami's commission been completed? What else are you going to do? Mirajan asked puzzled. No, It's not done yet. Suyu shook his head calmly. The voice fell. His figure turned into a flash of lightning and disappeared into the sky. Arlong and his gang have indeed been executed. But, collaborating with Arlong and his gang, the marine scum, Colonel Rat, is still on the loose. In Suyu's mind, Nami is already a member of Fairy Tail. Everyone in Fairy Tail is the most important friends and family. No matter who makes a move on Fairy Tail, there will be a price to pay. East Blue Marine 166 branch. Wow, ha 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 ha. The Mouse-eyed branch colonel laughed wantonly. Looking at the accumulation in the vault, he couldn't help nodding in satisfaction. Since working with the Arlong gang, he just bid farewell to the difficult life of living on a meager salary all the way to the sky, and lived the life of a rich man. Although I know that as a marine, collaborating with pirates is a serious crime. Once exposed, they will be sent to military courts. But the mountains are high and the Emperor is far away. In the back country of East Blue, as long as he doesn't say anything, his subordinates don't say anything. How would the big shots in the headquarters know? He has already managed the entire 166 branch, from top to bottom. All of them are their cronies, and as a community of interests, they will never inform. A better life is constantly beckoning to them! Colonel Mouse twirled his mouse-like beard, and the more he thought about it, the more excited he became. However, next second, his body trembled suddenly. The bright future is shrouded by the scene of hell for no reason. The haze of death follows like a shadow. What's the matter? Colonel Mouse suppressed the fear in his heart and rushed out the door. Suddenly raised his head, a figure brighter than the sun stood in the sky, like a god coming to the dust. This place is rotten to the root, rotten to the point where it stinks. Since you can't see it from the marine, let me help you, Suyu said coldly. Quarter of an hour ago. He has already arrived here. 166 branches have been thoroughly investigated. From Colonel Mouse to ordinary sailors, no one has been wronged. That being the case, Suyu naturally doesn't need to show any mercy. The violent stream of lightning particles continuously gathered in his palm. In the end, it turned into a highly concentrated ball of lightning. Thunder! Wait a minute who the hell are you? This is marine base Suyu what are you trying to do? Colonel Mouse yelled in horror. Suyu didn't pay any attention to it. In a flash, the ball of thunder and lightning fell. Boom, rumble. Chapter 5 The First Reward, 80 million! Seek evaluation of flowers. East Blue, Kokoyaksi Village. A thunderstorm in Arlong Park naturally alarmed the villagers. On Suyu's way to the Marine 166 branch, the village representatives headed by the village police officer Jian and Nami's sister Nuo Kigao also rushed to Arlong Paradise, waiting to see the mess all over the place. Jian, Nuo Kigao and others couldn't help being surprised. What shocked them even more was the presence of Nami. Nami, why are you here? Arlong, did they do something to you? Did you get hurt? The police officer Jian, who has always regarded Nami as his daughter, asked questions anxiously. Nami, it's all right. My sister is here. Nuo Kigao even hugged Nami and comforted her softly. I'm fine, no Kigao, it's over, Arlong. They're all dead, we're free. Nami shook his head, laughing through tears. It's fine. Noki patted Nami on the back. Immediately afterwards, the whole person froze suddenly. What? Nami, you just said that an Arlong is dead? Is this true? Nuo Kigao's voice raised an octave unconsciously. Without waiting for what Nami said. These are Murloc corpses. The Murlocs are all dead. The villagers who discovered the identity of the scorched object on the ground couldn't help screaming. Nami, what the hell is going on here? Feng Jian asked nervously. Nami turned her head and glanced at the fairy tale ship behind her. All thanks to Fairy Tail. Grand Line Naval Headquarters, Marineford. What? The East Blue 166 branch was taken? Who did it? Marshal Sengoku's horrified roar will echo in the headquarters building. Even if it's just a small base of the Four Seas branch, its elimination is definitely not a trivial matter, except for casualties. More importantly, this is a challenge to Marine's majesty. If it is not handled properly, it will seriously affect Marine's prestige in the hearts of the public. According to the evidence left behind at the scene, and the information provided by the surrounding witnesses, the culprit is probably this man. That's right, Suyu, the leader of the Fairy Tail Guild who has recently gained fame in East Blue. Naval Headquarters Commodore Brandon sent the sorted materials to Marshal Sengoku. Sengoku, I heard something happened to East Blue. Do I need to go back? At this moment, a carefree voice came from outside the door. If you go in the past, it will only make the situation more complicated. Another cold, wise voice followed closely behind. Little Crane, why do you say that? Ignoring the grumbling gaze of Marine Hiragap, Marine Chief of Staff Vice Admiral and Rayleigh walked into the Marshal's office. These are all the information about Fairy Tail. I have noticed them 3 months ago. According to my investigation, they are not pirates. They are closer to an organization like the Bounty Hunters Guild. By accepting other people's entrusted to earn rewards, So far Vice Admiral Crane told everything he had found about Fairy Tail. It also includes the inference that the chairman Tsuyu may be a Logia Thunderfruit capable person. Nani. Logia Thunderfruit ability. This terrifying ability has not appeared for many years. Even the Hiragap couldn't help being taken aback. Xio, what do you mean? Are they a just organization dedicated to maintaining peace in the sea? If that's the case, why would they do such a thing? Marshal Sengoku sent several photos to Vice Admiral Crane. The screen is a live photo of the attack on the East Blue 166 branch. The entire 166 branch has disappeared without a trace. Everyone, including Colonel Mouse, was left with no bones left. There is only a huge pothole hundreds of meters away from Fang Yuan. The organization that accepts the entrustment to get paid is really pure. They can accept the entrustment of the port to eradicate pirates, and they can also accept the entrustment of thieves to attack us marine. As long as the money is in place, we can do anything. After all, this so-called Fairy Tail Guild is just like those in the Dark World. They are all geese with no bottom line. Sengoku makes his own judgment. Wait a minute, Sengoku, there may be some reason behind this, and it needs to be adjusted. No matter what the reason is, doing this kind of thing is the biggest challenge to our marine, and we will never tolerate it. Marshal Sengoku said firmly. Well, Chief Staff Officer Vice Admiral he sighed. Speaking of this, she has nothing more to say. So, how much reward do you plan to offer this man? Vice Admiral Crane asked. 80 million. Chapter 6 Tsuyu, a person with the ability of Thunderfruit, is famous in the sea. Grand Line. Somewhere in the sky, huge hot air balloons go with the wind. There are 5 large characters written on the body of the hot air balloon. World Economic News! This is the headquarters of the World Economic Newspaper of the King of Journalism, Morgans. Wahaha, the first reward is 80 million berry. Another incredible monster has appeared in this sea. The News King Morgans laughed happily. The super rookie who broke into the New World unstoppably 2 years ago, the current captain of the Whitebeard Pirates, Firefist Ace, Rommel Kametachi who rose to fame this year, South Blue's Captain Kid, West Blue's Gangster Big, North Blue Magician Hawkins. Combined with East Blue, the Dark Horse newcomer who offered a reward of 80 million for the first time, and more new eras emerging, I have a strong premonition that earth-shattering events may happen in this era. President Morgans, here is the information you want about Tsuyu, the president of Fairy Tail. A club member sent a stack of materials to Birdman. President Morgans. Let me see, what is the so-called Fairy Tail? Nani. A person with lightning ability. Could it be the Thunder Fruit ability that can be honored in Logia? If this is the case, the initial reward of 80 million is also reasonable among them. That ability deserves this reward. Morgans, who glanced at the relevant information for the first time, couldn't help being stunned. What? Besides the Thunder Fruit ability user, there is actually a great swordsman, and also the Eugian technique in Legendary. President. Another member rushed into the president's office holding a document. Just now, our East Blue branch received an anonymous report that the Colonel Mouse of the East Blue Marine 166 branch colluded with the Murlocs and Dragons to bully men and women, and persecuted 20 villages including Kokoyasi village. 8 years. Nani. And this thing? Wahaha, it's getting more and more interesting. East Blue, worth my trip. New World. The Whitebeard Pirates. The whale ship Moby Dick. Hey, Ace, I remember that you seem to be from East Blue. Sage, the captain of the 4th Division, waved the newspaper in his hand. Yeah, what's wrong? The pockmarked young man who was feasting had a mouthful of food in his mouth, and said vaguely. An amazing newcomer has appeared in East Blue, and the first reward is 80 million berry. Sage said in amazement. Nani. The first reward is 80 million. What the hell did this guy do? The team captains such as Jaws, Vista, Lekoyo, etc. were all interested. East Blue's powerful newcomer, is it Luffy? Has Luffy gone to sea early? Ace's eyes lit up. Probably not. Ace, you said that your brother is a Paramecia ability user, but this guy is a Logia just like you, and he is an incredible Logia. Guess what ability it is? Sage smiled mysteriously. Without waiting for Ace to say anything. What the hell is Logia? Tell me quickly, Captain Thatch. The fat black man growled. With his big uneasy eyes open, his ugly face was full of tension. Teach, what happened to you all of a sudden? Ace looked suspicious. Okay, don't be secretive, Saki, just announce it directly. First Team Captain Marco said. Well, this man named Tsuyu, he is the strongest Thunder Fruit capable user in Logia. Sage, captain of the 4th team, reveals the answer. Nani. Everyone in the Bay Ituan couldn't help being surprised. But there are exceptions. What? It turned out to be Thunder Fruit. Then it's fine. Blackbeard Teach heaved a sigh of relief, wiped the sweat off his forehead, and didn't care anymore. Lurking on Whitebeard's ship for decades, he has been waiting for a fruit, the most vicious dark fruit ability in Logia. So after hearing about the new Logia ability user, he will be nervous and uneasy about it. I'm afraid that dark fruit has already been preempted. Now that he knows that he is not a person with dark abilities, he is finally relieved. not just the Whitebeard pirates. The $80 million bounty from East Blue is making waves around the world. And 3 hours after the $80 million reward was released, Naval Headquarters, Marineford. Tap. The sound of hurried footsteps echoed in the corridor. Sengoku, Marine Chief Staff Vice Admiral Crane pushed open the door of the Marshal's office. His expression ugly. What's wrong, Xio? Marshal Sengoku was puzzled. The reason why that man attacked Branch 166 is already known. Vice Admiral Crane sent the latest investigation materials to him. Colonel Mouse of the East Blue 166 branch and the Murloc Arlong ganged up together, deceiving the upper and lower. Listen to Vice Admiral Crane's report. Marshal Sengoku's expression also couldn't help but sink. My intuition is correct. Fairy Tail is not a killer organization with no bottom line. Their actions are based on goodness, and there is a reason for everything they do. Vice Admiral Crane said excitedly. As early as 2 months ago. Noticed Fairy Tail. After noticing what they do again, Vice Admiral Crane has been paying attention, assess their likelihood, going to send them an invitation to join the Marine. However, at this juncture, the 166 branch incident occurred. Now, know that there is inside story about this incident. There may be room for maneuver. Vice Admiral Crane is bound to be pleasantly surprised. Only, so what if that's the case? Marshal Sengoku asked back. It's our fault for not being aware of the evil deeds of the 166th branch, but, even if there are rats in the Marine, there is a court-martial to try it, and it's not something that anyone can handle without authorization. The Majesty of the Marine will never allow provocations, Marshal Sengoku said firmly. Even if this move might bring us a terrible enemy? Vice Admiral Crane asked. Marshal Sengoku was silent. Of course he is also aware of Vice Admiral's concerns. It's just that the reward orders issued are like water poured out. If the order changes day by day, Marine will lose all face. Chapter 7 Nami awakens the power of magic? Seek evaluation of flowers. 4 p.m. The sun was setting. The fiery red color reflects the sky and the earth. East Blue Kokoyaksi village. The atmosphere of joy and excitement permeated. The haze that had shrouded the village for 7 years dissipated today. For the villagers of Kokoyaksi village, today is the best day. The assembly square inches the village was crowded with people and it was very lively. The banquet to celebrate the new life of the village is ready, just waiting for the protagonist to enter. Only, haven't you come back yet? Miss Mirajan, where did the president go? President Suyu hasn't come back yet? We really want to thank him in person. Feng Kajian and other villagers spoke one after another. Well, everyone, please stay safe. The president should be back soon. Mirajan just finished speaking. Only a bang was heard. There was a thunder in the distance. The villagers couldn't help but tremble with fright. The president is back. Mirajan smiled, waiting for the villagers to react. Kai. There was a flash of lightning. Suyu has already arrived at the assembly square. Looking at the handsome young man who suddenly appeared, the villagers of Kokoyashi village first looked at each other. Immediately, they rushed forward, and the wave of thanks directly overwhelmed Suyu. It wasn't until Nami intervened that the villagers' high emotions subsided a little. In the end, Ajian, Nuoki and other senior village representatives were left to accompany the wine. Mr. Suyu, thank you very much for your help. There is no way to repay your kindness. I offer you a toast. Nuoki Gao, with short blue hair, walked up to Suyu and drank from his glass. This is Nami's commission. I just did what I had to do. Suyu smiled and raised his glass. In the future, even if President Suyu wants me to go up the mountain of swords and down into the sea of fire, I will not hesitate to do so. Mr. Jian, who was full of scars after drinking too much, patted his chest and assured, Yes, Mr. Jian. The president will not ask you to go down the mountain of swords and into the sea of fire. Nami smiled. Mr. Jian, everyone. At this moment, the uncle of the newsstand in Kokoyashi village, who was in charge of delivering the newspaper, suddenly screamed, waving today's newspaper in his hand. The rats of the 166th branch. The colonel rat who colluded with Arlong was killed. Nanny. The mice were killed too? Okay, it's really good. It's simply delightful. The villagers are all in high spirits. The distaste for the marine rats who are in the same boat as Arlong outweighs even the Arlong gang in a way. Unlike the excitement of the common villagers, hear the news that the rats have been eradicated. Nami suddenly turned his head, and his eyes fell on Suyu immediately. She seems to have guessed where Suyu who disappeared during the day went. Could it be Chairman Suyu? Feng Jian and Nuoki Gao also reacted, and their conjecture was confirmed in the next second. After knowing that it was Suyu who killed Colonel Mouse, the huge assembly square was shrouded in a new round of frenzy. In addition to excitement and gratitude, Nami, Arjian and Nuoki Gao couldn't help feeling guilty. It was all because of their affairs that Suyu became Marine's bounty criminal. It's just a mere reward. It doesn't matter at all. The important thing now is to celebrate the new life of the village, isn't it? Suyu smiled slightly, calmly. He didn't care a bit about being offered reward. After all, it was a matter of time before he was offered reward. But, President, didn't you tell Erza before that you should try not to conflict with Marine? Mirajan asked. I did say it, but it was aimed at the righteous people in Marine, excluding the moth rats in Marine. Besides, The most important point. Everyone in the guild is family. Fairy Tail absolutely does not allow others to bully family members. Can we tolerate the mouse that bullied Nami before continuing to get away with it? Suyu said. Of course not. Mirajan didn't hesitate. Family? Nami picked up the wine glass, her eyes flickered, and her pretty face raised a curve unconsciously. Drink 3 rounds. The dishes are delicious. Night fell. The banquet is over. Now, as a bounty criminal with 80 million yuan, Suyu naturally doesn't want to stay in Kokoyasi village for a long time. If it is known, it will inevitably bring trouble to the villagers. In the reluctant waving goodbye of the villagers, Fairy Tail drifts away. My wallet is missing. Me too. Could it be Nami? Where is the Nami girl? Goodbye, Nami. Be sure to go home and have a look. The villagers were all laughing and cursing. Let's go. Feng Jian felt lost. Don't worry, Nami has met the best partner. Let's look forward to her wonderful life in the future. The blue-haired girl knew Okigo smiled slightly. This moment, Fairy Tail. Okay, now, Nami, you are also a member of Fairy Tail. Welcome to join. Mirajan put away the magic seal. It's really incredible. Nami stared at his arms with wide-eyed surprise. The space originally occupied by the Arlong tattoo is now replaced by the symbol of Fairy Tail. The whole process is painless, one-click replacement. So, Nami, take a good rest tonight, and start working hard to pay off your debts tomorrow. Suyu smiled. Really, here we come again. President, I remember what you said. President, everyone in the guild is a family member, and family members still talk about money or not. Nami blinked slyly. Also, Miss Myra has already told me that you want to go to the Grand Line and want me to be a navigator for Fairy Tail, President, so that's why you propose that outrageous commission. Nami felt that he had everything figured out. However, no, Nami, there are still brothers and sisters who settle accounts between family members, so, work hard. The remaining 1.999999999 berry is still waiting looking at you. Suyu said seriously. Why is this tilde? Little money fan. Nami's face suddenly collapsed. Ha ha ha. In the dead of night, Nami sits at the desk and writes the sailing diary. Looking at the Fairy Tail logo on his arm by the moonlight, a smile appeared on his face unconsciously. Belmel, my second life is about to start. There must be infinite surprises waiting for me in the future. Nami closed the book and fell asleep peacefully. In sleep, Nami saw the vast stars in a daze, and the magical light flickered. As a member of Fairy Tail, how can you not be magic? Every member who has been admitted by Suyu and joined Fairy Tail can get a chance to awaken magic. This moment, the magic that Nami in her sleep is about to awaken is. Chapter 8 Gravity Magic. Protoss Wizard Nami? Seek evaluation of flowers? The next day, early morning, Fairy Tail LV7. President, Suyu, Lost Magic, Thunder Dragon Slayer Magic 100%. Dragon Slayer Mystery has been unlocked. Thunder Dragon King Mode is to be unlocked. New Magic, Gravity Magic. Guild members, S-Level Mage Fairy Queen Erza, S-Level Receptionist Demon Mirajan, Little Thief Cat Nami. 82% to the next level. On the deck, Suyu stared at the sea dozens of meters away. Next second, without warning, the sea suddenly collapsed. It seemed to be oppressed by an invisible heavy pressure. This is exactly the new power that the upgrade of the guild brings to Suyu! The completion of the Kokoyasi village event commission this time, coupled with the addition of the new member Nami, has brought a lot of upgrade points to the guild. The guild level directly jumped 2 levels and came to LV7, and guild upgrades will also bring new powers to Suyu. His Thunder Dragon Slayer magic quickly reached 100% full level during the upgrade of the guild. Suyu originally thought that this upgrade might bring his Thunder Slayer power to a new level, such as opening the Thunder Dragon King mode. However, Thunder Dragon King mode is obviously not easy to activate. The new magical power that this upgrade brings to Suyu is gravity! Although it's not the Thunder Dragon King, gravity magic is not bad either. Suyu clenched his fists, feeling the new magic power, and the corner of his mouth curled up. Except for the new magic, companion summoning is also a reward for guild upgrades. After Erza and Mirajan, the third Fairy Tail member has also been summoned and has come to this world of pirates. Only, the initial landing point of the summoned partners is random, not fixed in the guild. Also, as for who is summoned, even Suyu, who is the president, is still unclear. Only after actually meeting, will they know and appear in the system panel. Everything about the new partner is still unknown. But, the only thing Suyu knows is the location of the new partner. New partner at Grand Line Twin Point! At this moment, the voice of the girl's surprise sounded from the guild. President and president. Driven by a huge surprise, Nami didn't even bother to wear shoes, and went to the deck barefoot. What's wrong? Nami. Myra stepped forward with a smile. Miss Myra, although I don't know what's going on, but I seem to have awakened some wonderful power. Miss Myra, do you know what's going on? Nami was so excited that he was incoherent. This is the benefit of joining Fairy Tail. Congratulations, Nami. From now on, you are also a wizard, Mirajan said. Mage? Nami scratched his head in bewilderment. So, Nami, what power have you awakened? Let's show it. Suyu smiled. He is also curious about what magic Nami can acquire. Nami nodded. My mind moved. A splendid magic circle is formed under its feet. Next second, Nami's clothes change. There is only one piece of black and white cow handwriting on the upper body. The lower body is a trendy dress with half trousers and half hot pants. There is also a love whip like a succubus tail in his hand. Seeing the transformation she had completed, Nami was taken aback for a moment, then couldn't help but let out a coquettish cry, and hurriedly squatted down shyly. Is this a dress-up magic? Mirajan said. No, it's not a costume change, but Protoss magic, Suyu said. He is a time traveler. Naturally, the magic that Nami displayed at this moment is the most clear. Needless to say, the magic that Nami is matched with is exactly the Protoss magic of Lucy, the heroine of fairy tale. Protoss magic was originally an item-holding magic. The necessary magic tool is the Protoss key. After signing a contract with the Protoss to which the key belongs, they can use the key to open the door of the astral world to summon the Protoss to come out to fight. This is the fighting method of the Protoss mage under normal circumstances. But, senior Protoss mages can transfer the power of Protoss to themselves, summon a special star spirit clothing like a dress-up magic, and borrow the power of this kind of star spirit. The magic displayed by Nami at this moment is the Protoss cloth, and the star spirit clothes she obtained is the power of the zodiac sign Taurus. Listen to Suyu's narration. Nami forgot to be shy. Immerse yourself completely in the awareness and understanding of your new powers. The zodiac Taurus star spirit clothes. Nami clenched her little pink fist. I feel like now I have the strength to kill a cow with one punch. Nami, don't forget, you borrowed the power of Taurus. Mirajan reminded with a smile. I was wrong. It's not a cow. It's a sea kings. I can kill a sea kings with one punch. Nami hastily corrected. Well, that's right. The sea kings are here. Suyu raised his chin. 800 meters ahead. Huge sea kings are riding the wind and waves. Wow, I'm kidding. Nami's face collapsed. Even if you get the powerful power of Taurus, she is still a kitten at heart. Really fighting sea kings or something? I can't do it at all. Don't be nervous, Nami. The president doesn't really want you to fight the sea kings. Besides, look carefully. That sea kings has already been dealt with. Mirajan laughed. Oh? Really? Nami was stunned for a moment, and only then realized it belatedly. In front of sea kings, there seems to be someone. That's our queen of fairy tale, Erza Shukaletto. Chapter 9 Fairy Queen Erza! Seek evaluation of flowers. The magic motorboat speeds at high speed in the endless sea, bringing up spectacular waves. On the powerboat, a red-haired girl in silver and white armor stood facing the wind. The strong wind blew her long crimson hair, making her look even more heroic. She is Erza! Fairy Queen Erza! Suyu created the first companion summoned by the Fairy Tale Guild. Serious personality, forthright, with great enthusiasm for work. Like Mirajan, she is Suyu's right-hand man. President. Just when Nami was stunned, Erza jumped up and landed firmly on the deck. Apple Island, Potato Town. 7 other islands, exorcising bandits, beheading sea kings, pirates. All commissions have been completed. This is the mission feedback letter. Erza made the report seriously, and at the same time sent a stack of entrusted feedback to Suyu. As expected of Erza, Suyu couldn't help but praise. Thanks for your hard work, Erza. Let's rest now. Mirajan smiled. Erza nodded. His gaze then fell on Nami. Feel Erza's majestic gaze. Nami's delicate body couldn't help trembling slightly. For the title of Fairy Queen, she has heard of it more or less. It's just that seeing 100 things is not worth seeing. Until now I have seen it with my own eyes. Nami was able to intuitively feel the power of Erza. Elusa, this is Nami, our new partner from Fairy Tale. Mirajan quickly introduced. Well, I already know. Erza nodded. The first thing I noticed when I saw Nami was the fairy tale pattern on her shoulder. That's the sign of a partner! Hi, I'm Erza, and I'm also a member of Fairy Tale. Please give me more advice in the future. Erza held out her hand to Nami. Yes, Miss Erza, please give me your advice. Nami reached out to respond. After a brief greeting, Erza's eyes fell on Suyu again. President, what's going on? Erza took out a brand new reward order. That was Suyu's 80 million reward order. Regarding the fact that the president of his family was suddenly offered reward, Urshaw felt perplexed and even more resentful. Elusa, let me tell you. Mirajan took the conversation and told everything. Nani, what's the matter? The self-proclaimed righteous marine joins forces with pirates. Even if this kind of scum dies 100 times, it's not an exaggeration. The president is clearly doing harm to the people, so why is he still being offered reward? Erza spoke angrily. This is the rule of this world, Erza. Suyu raised his big hand, and gently rubbed the small head of Erza who was fuming. We just have to be ourselves and have a clear conscience. The judgment of others is irrelevant. I see. Erza nodded. Immediately, he walked in front of Nami again. Gudong tilde. Nami swallowed nervously. He didn't wait to say anything. Erza's iron hands fell on her shoulders. Then he took Nami violently into her arms. Only a bang was heard. Nami's little head came into close contact with Erza's fierce armor. It hurts. Nami blinked her big eyes, and tears of pain flowed out. However, compared to the pain, she cared more about Erza's actions. Nami, it's okay, you are already a member of Fairy Tail. From now on, no one can bully you again, Erza said seriously. Heard the words. Nami finally knew Erza's intentions. This is Erza's unique care. After knowing what happened to her in the past, Erza opened her heart to her and gave her support. Only, this mind is a bit too hard. Nami touched the bulging pouch on his forehead. Moved and joy came together. Miss Erza, thank you. If you were a man, I might fall in love with you. Nami laughed. Hey, Nami, shouldn't you fall in love with me who helped you destroy the dragon and rat yesterday? Suyu smiled. If you don't blackmail me, I might really fall in love with you. Nami smiled slyly. Forget it, one size counts for one size, Suyu said seriously. Hey, you don't play your cards according to the routine. Shouldn't you say well, your debts will be written off here? Nami insisted strongly. Okay, the East Blue matter is basically over, let's move on to the Grand Line. Suyu stared at the sea and said impassionately. Don't change the subject, hey. 2 days later, Suyu and his party came to the terminus of East Blue, the town of beginnings and ends, Rotown! When the fairy tale sails into the port of Rotown, in an instant, it attracted the attention of the quartet. Hey, look, that's Fairy Tail. Really, I know them. This is a good guild that specializes in helping people solve problems. It is simply a partner of the people. SHH, your information is outdated. What fellow of the people? Do you know what they did the other day? That man named Suyu captured a marine base, and now he has a reward of 80 million berry. Nani, 80 million. Isn't this a super dangerous person? That's right. Stay away, reported to Colonel Smoker immediately. Throughout the port, the whispers of civilians continued. Urshaw moved her ears, and a trace of anger appeared on her pretty face. She was about to argue with people. Before he could open his mouth, Suyu grabbed him again. The world is so ignorant, just have a clear conscience. Chapter 10 Zoro joins Fairy Tail? Seek evaluation of flowers. Town of East Blue. This is the hometown of Gordy Roger, the pirate king who once conquered the Grand Line, where he was born and set sail. It is also his burial place. 22 years ago, the famous One Piece legendary came to an end here. Since then, it has gradually become known as the town of beginning and end. It is also the last supply town on the way to the Grand Line. The purpose of Suyu and his party coming here is also very simple. Just stocking up for the rest of the trip. Because of the title of 80 million Great Pirate, the supple procurement of Suyu and his party went smoothly. The bosses of the major stores have no idea of defrauding outsiders at all. Not to mention cheating, some even dare not accept money, for fear of offending the vicious big pirate. Certainly, Suyu will not take advantage of them because of this, and give as much as he wants, definitely a little bit. In addition to purchasing supplies, Suyu also popularized the basic common sense of the world to Erza and Mirajan. After all, the next thing to go in is the Grand Line, which is 100 times and 1,000 times more dangerous than East Blue. It would be too stupid if any bad results were eventually incurred due to the lack of information. One Piece? What is that? Do groups like pirates have kingdoms? Erza's dazed face was cute. No, Erza, One Piece King Goldie Roger is the world-recognized king of pirates. The only man who conquered the Grand Line. Erza, haven't you heard of it? Nami said. Never heard of that. Erza and Mirajan shook their heads together. Well, it doesn't matter if you don't know it now. You will gradually understand it in the future. Compared with One Piece, what you should know now is the special ability system of this world. Suyu said. Demon fruit power? This is indeed a very interesting power. I have encountered several in the mission. Some can turn into animals, and some can still live even if their bodies are torn apart. Erza said. It's all torn apart and still not dead. Is this still a human being? How can such an opponent be defeated? Mirajan widened her beautiful eyes in surprise. It's not difficult at all. Although that guy is not afraid of my slashing attacks, he is not immune to blunt weapon blows. I knocked him over in 2 or 3 hits. Erza said. Speaking of which, I remembered, President, when I was on a mission a few days ago, I met an interesting 3-sword swordsman. Oh, Suyu raised his brows lightly, and couldn't help feeling excited. Speaking of the 3-sword swordsman of One Piece world, everyone will think of that man. According to my observation, that guy's character is high and his strength is not bad, so I invited him to join our guild on my own initiative. Erza said. So, did he refuse? Mirajan said. I didn't refuse, but I didn't refuse. The swordsman seemed to be a little interested in Fairy Tail, but later, I went to complete the commission and I made an appointment with him to meet him at the port. I waited for a long time, but he didn't show up. Erza shook her head regretfully. Probably changed his mind halfway. This is also a common thing. No. Suyu shook his head. Erza was taken aback. The reason why the green algae head didn't join you, Erza, is probably lost. Suyu laughed. For Zoro's road idiot attribute, Suyu is of course very clear. Be lost. Erza had little question marks on her head. The island where the swordsman and I met was not big at all. How could we get lost? And the president, how do you know that the swordsman of the three-sword style is Chlorella? Is it someone you know? Erza couldn't help asking. Let's just count it. Suyu nodded without too much explanation. So are you going to find him? Mirajan asked. That's not necessary. I will see you later. Suyu waved his hand. The miss with Zoro is a bit regrettable though. But there's no point in disrupting the original plan and driving the car back to find someone. First, they now don't know which horn garter Zoro got lost in. Second, on the other side of the red line, there is another partner waiting for them. Okay, almost everything you need to buy is ready. Let's go and enter the Grand Line. With a wave of his hand, Suyu was about to return to the port. However, at this time, the accident happened suddenly. Want to go to the Grand Line? It's wishful thinking. Bet on the name of Colonel Marine in Rotown. You will never be allowed to enter the Grand Line. Suyu, captain of the fairy tale pirates, wake up. Kai kai kai. A large cloud of white smoke rose and enveloped the entire street. Colonel Marine, White Hunter Smoker, late but here! Exclamation mark. Chapter 11 Fairy Queen Erza vs Smoker. Colonel Smoker, Rotown Smoker, the legendary sailor who once cornered the pirate Luffy, so it is recorded in the history books of later generations. For Colonel Marine Smoker in the town of Ro. As a time traveler, Suyu is naturally very familiar with it. Logia Smoky Fruit ability. Serious character, Maverick, have their own justice, a rare clear stream among Marines. On the issue of dealing with pirates, say one thing, because of him guarding the town of Ro. In recent years, few pirates in East Blue have been able to cross the upside-down mountain and go to the Grand Line. For Smoker, Suyu somewhat appreciates it. I don't want to conflict with it if I can. But, now that the other party took the initiative to come to the door, then Suyu will never back down. Just right. Suyu also wanted Erza and Mirajan to meet the Logia-capable users in this world. For those who use magic and don't know Haki, the elementalization of Logia Espers is arguably the trickiest. Suyu, captain of the fairy tale pirates, you have to stop here. I will never let you go to the Grand Line. Smoker categorically stopped drinking, and pointed at Suyu with a sea stone in his hand. First of all, to clarify, it's the Fairy Tale Guild, Suyu said lightly. HMPH, what guild actually raised a marine base to the ground? After all, it's just a group of reckless guys. Smoker said coldly. To clarify, it is not raised to the ground. There should be a big pit in the 166th branch. Suyu smiled. Arsehole. Smoker's face suddenly darkened. Suyu's clarification sounded like Kaigogo's provocation to him. Hey, Marine, if it wasn't for your Marines rats who bullied people too much, joined forces with pirates, and bullied civilians, how could the president take action against him? Erza drank coquettishly. Smoker looked dark. For the 166th branch and Arlong gang's tricks, there was a report in the World Economic News 2 days ago, although it was quickly suppressed by the world government. Most civilians don't know it, but Smoker knew it. Facing Erza's reprimand at this moment, he was also speechless for a while. Good moment. Even so, that's not the reason why you can shoot casually. The moth rats in the Marine should be judged by a military court for their crimes. Smoker comes to the same conclusion as Marshal Sengoku. Then there's no need to say more. Erza, go and have fun. Suyu said. Yes. Erza handed the trolley to Nami and stepped forward calmly. Change. Armor of the Sky Wheel. Following Ursho's voice fell, a splendid magic circle is formed from under its feet. Magic Knight, activate. The bright light shines on the audience. Wait until the light converges. Erza, who appeared in people's sight, has changed drastically. Common silver white armor was replaced by a magnificent set of sword armor. This moment, Erza is like an angel in mythology. It's just that the pair of wings that support her floating are also swords. Behind her, there are dozens of flying swords floating. Whoa, Erza is so handsome. Nami, who saw Erza make a move for the first time, couldn't help but blushed, screaming excitedly. It's too early to be surprised. This is just the tip of the iceberg of Erza's strength. Mirajan smiled. As Erza's rival for Erza's strength, Mirajan knows best. Fairy Queen Erza, I've heard of you. Is this your ability? You do have 2 brushes. Smoker opened his mouth pretending to be calm. The surface is calm. In fact, there was already a turbulent sea in my heart, because the power displayed by Erza is beyond his cognition. His intuition told him that this didn't seem to be Devil Fruit's ability, but some kind of power beyond the routine and incomprehensible. Mr. Smoker. The Marines from Raw Town, headed by Sergeant Tashigai, the glasses girl, finally arrived. Looking at the situation in front of him, the sailors quickly loaded their guns, but didn't wait to aim. Swish, 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 swish. The cold light danced. Sky wheel, dazzling sword! Exclamation mark. In an instant, all the guns in the hands of the sailors were cut off. If Erza has murderous intentions in her heart, now the streets are already full of heads and blood is flowing like rivers. Think about the possibility. Even Smoker couldn't help being terrified. As for Sergeant Tashigai, the lady with glasses, she was completely frightened at the moment. Mr. Smoker, what the hell is this? Don't come here, Tashigai. Everyone stand back. This is not an opponent you can deal with. Smoker shouted loudly. This is a sensible choice. Erza spoke calmly. Snort. Smoker snorted coldly. Then let me learn the methods of the Fairy Queen. The voice fell. Smoke billowed. Smoker's figure suddenly soared into the sky driven by the white smoke. The 10 hands inlaid with sea stone thrust out mercilessly. Tanlun, the sword of the three. Swish. Erza's figure flickered. Swings the sword at unimaginable speed. In an instant, he crossed with Smoker. The world seemed to stand still for a moment. Next second, a triangular sword light suddenly lit up on Smoker. Chapter 12 Killing Colonel Smoker in one hit. Tanlun, the sword of the three! Exclamation mark. Swish swish swish. The three sword lights connected end to end, turned into a triangular mark, and landed on Smoker's body. It's over. Mirajan smiled. That's great. Nami was pleasantly surprised. Mr. Smoker. Sergeant Tashigai's eyes widened and she exclaimed in surprise. No. It's far from over. Suyu said lightly. / without Haki attached. It has zero effect on Logia ability users, and so it is. What exploded from Smoker, who was hit head-on by Erza's / was not blood, but white smoke. This level of attack is completely useless to me. Smoker snarled. Seastone drew back with 10 hands. Collided with the magic sword in Erza's hand. There was a crisp sound of gold and iron clashing. Under Smoker's sudden counterattack, Erza, who was caught off guard, retreated more than 10 meters. Can your ability also nullify my /? Erza raised her eyebrows in surprise. Not just slashing. All physical attacks are ineffective against me. Smoker spoke, without holding back. Because he wants to come. It is common knowledge in the sea that Logia-capable users are immune to all physical attacks. No one will not know. Immune to all physical attacks? Erza murmured. The plain hand waved lightly. Dozens of magic flying swords shot out from all directions. Cut Smoker's body full of holes. However, there was still no blood. It's really ineffective. What a tricky ability. A solemn expression appeared on Erza's pretty face. Elishaw's moves are completely ineffective. What's going on? Mirajan, who was watching, couldn't help being taken aback. Logia demon fruit power. Their bodies can freely transform into natural elements, immune to all physical attacks. Suyu explained lightly. I also remembered, Colonel Smoker of Rot Town seems to be someone with the ability of Logia's smoking fruit. Nami spoke. Natural elements that are immune to all physical attacks, aren't they naturally invincible? How can such an opponent be defeated? Mirajan couldn't help screaming in shock. Invincibility is not considered invincible. Even Logia has corresponding countermeasures, such as the power of Seastone and Haki. In addition, large-scale energy attacks can also pose a threat to Logia. Suyu said calmly. Seastone, Haki. Hearing these unfamiliar terms, Myra's little face became more and more confused. It wasn't until the violent roar that she woke up. Well, President, if you don't stop it, Erza might tear down this whole street. Mirajan reminded. Just as they were talking, Erza has been changing clothes continuously. Try storming Smoker in a variety of different ways. As a result, it does not work against Logia's Smoker. The aftermath of the attack is already riddled with holes in the streets. As part of Fairy Tail's house-breaking squad, the number of houses destroyed by Erza in the battle is not less than that of Natsu. A large number of complaints are received every year, seeing that the entire street is about to be destroyed. Finally, Suyu also couldn't stand up. After all, his original intention was to let Erza and Logia try to fight against each other, just to understand people with this type of ability. That's it. The majestic sound of breaking the drink exploded. Can gold lightning flashed. Suyu disappeared from the spot. The reappearance is already between Erza and Smoker. The left hand grabbed Smoker's 10 hands, and the right hand blocked Erza's sword. Leave it to me next, Suyu said lightly. Yes, President. Erza responded immediately and stepped aside to watch the battle. Just in time. I want to see how strong your thunder fruit ability is. Smoker is full of fighting spirit. However, just the next second, his complexion suddenly changed. Somewhere, the terrifying invisible oppressive force bent his spine. Is this gravity? Smoker clenched his teeth, fighting desperately against the invisible pressure. I couldn't help but set off a stormy sea again. What about thunder fruit ability users? Why is it gravity? The thought crossed Smoker's mind. Next second, boom, gravity is further multiplied. The weight of terror crushed Smoker into the street. At the moment about to be crushed by gravity, Smoker's body elementalized. Countless white smoke spread out to the surroundings. Finally, they reunited behind Suyu. Seastone lashed down mercilessly with 10 hands. But in the end it came to nothing. Smoker felt his eyes flicker. Suyu, who was locked in his line of sight, has disappeared without a trace. Immediately afterwards, his wrist suddenly hurt. Seastone came out with 10 hands. It has already been snatched by Suyu. First of all, you found it first, and you can deal with the damage on the street yourself. Secondly, Seastone weapons are easy to use, but they will also become your own weakness. Finally, 10 of your Seastones belong to me. Suyu smiled slightly. Smoker? An unprecedented sense of threat hit his heart. The elementalization of his body's instincts soared into the sky. However, Suyu is like a shadow. The moment when 3 o'clock declared the end, Suyu held the sea stone with 10 hands and slapped Smoker on the back of the head mercilessly. Whoosh, boom. Smoker flew upside down, smashed through the houses on the side of the street, and was finally buried in the rubble. Just one hit. Marine Smoky Colonel White Hunter Smoker, defeated! Chapter 13. The fourth companion Juvia Locke's sand. One hit, and Colonel Smoker, who is Logia, is defeated. This scene stunned everyone in the audience. Everyone in Marine headed by Tashigai was stunned. Erza, Mirajan and Nami were also stunned for a moment. Never expected that the battle would end so suddenly. After a while, oh, the president is amazing. Nami cheers, as expected of the president. Mirajan smiled and clapped. Mr. Smoker. Sergeant Tashigai screamed in fear, and led people into the ruins immediately to dig out Smoker, who was bleeding and comatose. Come on, girls. Suyu shook the spoils and turned to leave first. President, how did you do it? That guy's body seems to be immune to all physical attacks. My sword couldn't hurt him at all before. Erza asked for advice in confusion. It's very simple. The top of this weapon of his is inlaid with sea stone, which can restrain those with abilities. Suyu said. The stone that can restrain the ability user must be very precious. It's okay, if you want, you can still get a lot. Do you have sea stone armor? I want to buy a set. The armor is probably a bit difficult. After all, the hardness of sea stone is even higher than that of diamond. What? Is it so hard? Forget it. Are there any other restraints? Haki. What is Haki? Haki is the hidden power inside everyone. President, will you? Won't. The effort between speaking. The four of Suyu returned to the boat. In the eyes of people in awe. Fairy tale sails again. Aim for the Grand Line! Another hour passed. The situation of the world changed suddenly. The clear sky was suddenly covered by heavy rain clouds. The torrential rain poured down without warning. The sea was churning, wave after wave. Look, what is that? A wall? Why is there a wall in the sea? Through the hazy mist, Erza saw the huge red clay wall soaring into the sky. That's the Red Line, and it's the first time I've seen it. It's said that you can reach the Grand Line by climbing the upside-down mountain. Nami spoke, with a little tension in his voice. But how can we get to the other side of the wall? Mirajan shook her head puzzled. It's easy. Suyu looked straight ahead. There is a gap in the laterite wall. A special canal is pulled upstream by an inexplicable force. The climbing canal of the inverted mountain is a spectacle that will be breathtaking no matter how many times you look at it. Even Erza and Mirajan, who were born in the magical world, couldn't help opening their mouths in shock at this moment. Girls, sit still. Suyu held the rudder and steered the fairy tale straight ahead, boarding the climbing canal. 5 minutes later, fairy tale breaks through cumulonimbus clouds and reaches the top of upside down mountain. In an instant, the sky brightened. So beautiful. Standing on the highest point of Inversion Mountain and looking at the boundless sea, Nami and others couldn't help but marvel. But only for a moment. Fairy tale bows down. It started to fall like a roller coaster. The screams of the girls suddenly rose and fell. Twin Point. The starting point of the Grand Line. This is a must-stop for newcomers who want to break into the Grand Line. The day at Twin Point is a bit gloomy. The light rain has been falling non-stop. The continuous rain seems to make people moldy. Under the umbrellas next to the lighthouse, wearing slippers and a flowered shirt, the old man pouted his chin slightly melancholy. Although the weather on the Grand Line is fickle, but he always felt that the rainy weather for the past 2 days had nothing to do with nature. The flowery old man Crocus' eyes fell to the shore. The gloomy girl with Blue's long curly hair, wearing a blue slit skirt, and a blue hat is holding Blue's lace umbrella, looking at the entrance of the Grand Line like a watcher's stone. 2 days ago, after completing the inspection of Laboon's body, he found a strange girl who appeared in Cape Twins at some time. He thought it was a pirate group from 4 seas resting here, so he ignored it. However, after most of the day, he emerges from the whale Laboon again. The girl was still standing alone in the rain. The warm-hearted Crocus brought hot soup and food to the girl. Because of this, he got into a conversation with the girl. From the girl's mouth, Crocus learned her name is Juvia Locke's sand. Now waiting for her partner to pick her up here. Partner. Crocus shook his head. Think of the past 50 years ago. That day, a whale is left here by a mate. It was promised to pick it up after circling the world for a week. However, 50 years have passed. They still haven't come back. For whatever reason, the whales have been abandoned and will never return. The same goes for the girl in front of her. Only such cruel words. Crocus couldn't say it anyway. It can only let the girl wake up by herself. When will it be sunny this day? Crocus shook his head sadly. However, in the next second, without warning, has the light rain that has been pattering for 2 days stopped? The sun is shining. The sky cleared. At the same time, the girl on the bank looked back, showing a bright smile for the first time in 2 days. Grandpa, thank you for taking care of me these 2 days. My partner is here to pick me up. Chapter 14 Crocus Commission, Finding the Rumba Pirates. Wow, This upside-down mountain is much more exciting than a roller coaster. Let's do it again. Come again? Spare me, Miss Erza. I think I can do it again. Oh, even Miss Myra don't want it. The laughter of the young and energetic girls broke the gloomy atmosphere of Cape Twins. The cloud over Cape Twins dissipated. The bright and warm sun shines down. After the rain, the sky is sunny. Suyu did not participate in the girls' conversation. The moment you come to Twin Point, his gaze was attracted by the girl on the shore. Of course, he would not fail to recognize the girl on the shore. After completing the summoning 2 days ago, he was always curious. The identity of the fourth partner. Now, the answer is finally revealed. Still a pleasant surprise as always. I've kept you waiting, Juvia. We're here to pick you up. Suyu smiled slightly. Woo. Juvia pursed her mouth. President, you are finally here. Juvia thought you didn't want me. Juvia jumped up from the bank and threw herself into Suyu's arms, whimpering softly. Same as Erza and Mirajan. Juvia's affection for Suyu is also full, and, because Juvia has her own slut attribute, she does not suppress her inner emotions. As soon as it comes up, it is a straight ball attack. He slammed into Suyu's arms together with the ball, acting like a baby to his heart's content. This sudden scene stunned the native Nami. Wait a minute, President, this girl is. Without waiting for Nami to ask, Juvia, isn't this Juvia? Erza and Mirajan's eyes lit up, and they both stepped forward. As for the partners of Fairy Tail, it is natural to know each other. Elusa, Myra, Juvia greeted familiarly. However, the body is still stuck to Suyu. Nami, what the hell is this? Nami was completely dumbfounded. She always thought she was the fourth member of Fairy Tail. But now, a Juvia jumped out on the way. It seems that she joined the guild earlier than her. But, why Suyu? Myra never told her about it. And why is this partner in Twin Point? Look at Erza and Mirajan. They don't seem to have set foot on the Grand Line. Nami, let me introduce you. This is Juvia, a member of Fairy Tail. Apart from Juvia, there are many other friends scattered around. I'll introduce you when I meet you later. Suyu saw through Nami's ignorance, and immediately made an excuse. Nami nodded blankly, did not pay too much attention to this issue. Hi Juvia, I'm Nami. Nami greeted Juvia with a smile. Next second, Nami felt a gust of fragrant wind blowing against her face. Juvia leaned in front of her. The distance between the two is only 1 centimeter, and they can clearly feel each other's breath. What's wrong? Feeling Juvia's gaze, Nami couldn't help being a little nervous. What is your relationship with the president, Nami? Juvia asked a straight ball. What kind of relationship is it? Of course it is a partnership relationship, and there is also a credit relationship. Nami replied. Do you like the president? Juvia continued asking questions. Huh? I like him? How is such a thing possible? Absolutely impossible. Nami raised her voice an octave, repeatedly denying it. Well, then we are not hostile. The expression on Juvia's pretty face suddenly shivered. Nami, let's get along well from now on. Juvia happily grabbed Nami's hands, like a good sister. Nami, what is this all about? An old cough interrupted the joyous atmosphere on board. Old man, my Juvia, thanks to you for taking care of me these 2 days. If you don't mind, come and sit on our boat. Suyu smiled and looked at Crocus. Then the old man would be more respectful than obedient. Crocus responded carelessly. The moment I saw Fairy Tail. Crocus has already recognized Suyu and his party. It was the Fairy Tail team that East Blue recently claimed fame. Captain Suyu is even more of a fierce man who offered a reward of up to 80 million for the first time. In general, Crocus doesn't want to get involved with other people. But, regarding why Juvia ended up in Twin Point, Crocus was really curious. In the quarter of an hour, Crocus scoured the Fairy Tail Guild from the mouths of Suyu and Erza. He also learned Fairy Tail is not the pirates, but the Guild of Wizards, specializes in helping people in difficulty to solve intractable diseases. It seems that the news reports are slightly different from the reality. Crocus said, it doesn't matter how the outside world spreads it, as long as we have a clear conscience. Suyu said freely. Speaking of which, Mr. Crocus, is there anything you want to entrust us with? If so, you can bring it up. For the past of Laboon, the whale of Cape Twins, and the Rumba pirates. Suyu, who is a time traveler, naturally knows it best. If possible, Suyu would also like to contribute, help the whale Laboon make amends and reunite with Bbook. Also, completing story-related quests seems to give you more upgrade points than common quests. This point was discovered by Suyu in the Kokoyasi village incident. It can not only make up for regrets, but also upgrade. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Suyu was naturally happy to accept it. Entrust. I'm just the old man of the lighthouse. What can I entrust? Crocus waved his hand. Next second. But no, let's forget it. It's been so many years, and I went to look for it myself back then. There is no hope. No hope? I can't pretend that I didn't hear this. There are always infinite possibilities in this sea, isn't it? Suyu smiled. Crocus was dumbfounded. He had heard these words from a great man, his captain. For this sentence, Crocus decided to try. All right then, I do have one thing I would like to entrust. Crocus walked to the bow. Laboon, come out. Laboon. Crocus called out to the sea. Erza and Nami looked at each other. Don't wait to speak. Next second, the sea surface suddenly changed violently. A mountain rises from the calm sea. Huge island whales break out of the sea. Jiao. Chapter 15. The Crew of One Piece. Two-color Haki practice. Grand line. Twin point. Whale. 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 A whale. A whale as big as a mountain. Looking at the huge island whale Laboon breaking out of the sea, Nami couldn't help screaming in shock. President Erza held the magic sword at her waist, just waiting for Suyu's order. He attacked forcefully. Wait a moment. Wait a moment, Erza, that's the whale Laboon, Grandpa's partner. Juvia hurriedly stopped Erza. President Suyu, strictly speaking, this is not my commission, but Laboon's commission. If you can, please listen to Laboon's story, Crocus said. Please. Suyu made a gesture of please. That was 50 years ago, when Laboon followed a pirate group in West Blue. A look of reminiscence crept across Crocus's face. Tell the story of Laboon and the Rumba pirates 50 years ago. Why is it like this? Hear the story of the whale Laboon. The kind-hearted girls couldn't help but be moved by it. Did they abandon Laboon? A little mist appeared in Juvia's eyes. Even the clear sky is a little darker. No, it shouldn't be. Crocus shook his head. Although I don't know the specific situation, I think they didn't forget the agreement with Laboon, but fell on the Grand Line. The general situation is like this. Back then, I went out to sea with others to find them, but found nothing. After knowing this, do you still want to accept this commission? Crocus asked. Accept? Of course I will. Why not? Suyu made 3 consecutive affirmations without hesitation. But the Rumba pirates of Laboon, etc. may have. Nami frowned worriedly. So what? Suyu asked back. A man's promise is for a lifetime. Even if he dies, he must crawl out to the underworld to fulfill the promise. Suyu said firmly. 50-year mission? Interesting. Erza is eager to try. Mr. Crocus, this is the general content of the power of attorney. Take a look, and sign here if you can. Mirojan sends the power of attorney to Crocus. Look at Suyu's swearing. Crocus didn't hesitate either. He generously signed his and Laboon's names. Until the name is signed, Crocus just remembered something. By the way, how much will this commission cost? I'm not very rich, old man, so try as much as I can afford. Crocus said. Well, old man, you took care of Juvia for 2 days, which can offset part of the expenses, and the other part can be exchanged with other things. Suyu smiled. What do you want? Crocus's heart moved, and he felt that there was something in Suyu's words. It's very simple. I just want the old man to teach the girls 2 hands. Suyu said. If it's medical skills, I know a thing or 2, that's fine. Crocus should go down. However, Suyu shook his head. What I want the old man to teach is not medical skills, but Haki. Armed and knowledgeable Haki. Nani. Crocus' pupils shrunk. As a former crew member of One Piece, it's not even Haki. Suyu laughed. Crocus' pupils constricted further. He's been on the One Piece ship for this. Not many people in the world know about it. Even if you know, you are an old man. But Suyu made this fact clear in one sentence. Wait a moment. Wait a moment, President. You said that Mr. Crocus is a crew member of One Piece? Nami's beautiful eyes widened, and she exclaimed in shock. One Piece? Is he the powerful guy I mentioned in the previous town? His crew must be very powerful too. Erza's slender hand grasped the hilt of the sword again. Although she is not a fighting mad like Natsu, but also eager to fight with the strong, especially in this strange world. Stop. You're going to die. Crocus, who noticed Erza's actions, stared suddenly, and his whole body changed. Just when the girls thought he was going to show off his demeanor. But I saw Crocus added a sentence. I'm going to die. Poor Nami staggered, blinded by Crocus' sudden turn. The old man in front of him doesn't really match up with a member of Legendary. As I said before, in order to find the Rumba pirates, I went out to sea with the group for 2 years. It is indeed Roger's group, but my Haki attainments are only average, and they are completely incomparable with the captain and the others. Crocus said. That's enough. It's up to the master to lead the door to practice, as long as you can get started a little. Suyu nodded. One Piece. The fastest way to level up your Haki is through combat. Thought King Luffy has practiced on Monster Island for 2 years, and Haki is only at the middle level. In the Battle of Wano Kuni, it took a week to learn advanced emission weapons. After that, I learned Conqueror's Winding in just a few sticks. As long as you can master some tricks, you can save it in actual combat. To prove it, just do it. Crocus. Haki Crash Course opens. Fairy Tail stayed at Twin Point for 3 days. Taught diligently by Crocus. Nami, give up. Juvia, give up. Mirajane, give up. Erza, get started. Chapter 16. Practicing Haki. It's better to lie flat and stick with your sister. Mr. Crocus, I really appreciate your teaching these 3 days. Erza thanked Crocus solemnly. No, I can't bear the title of teacher. At my half-baked level, Miss Erza's ability to get started depends entirely on your own talent. Crocus waved his hand quickly. That's the truth. Haki attainments for Crocus. Suyu is indeed slightly overestimated, although it is the ship doctor of One Piece. but Crocus only got on board halfway for 2 years. It is completely incomparable with top Haki masters like Rayleigh and Roger. Think carefully. In the future One Piece, not all of them are Grandmaster 2-color Haki. That's the case. Erza still touched Haki's fur in just 3 days, relying on her own penultimate combat talent. As for Nami, Juvia, and Mirajan, these 3 days are pure bastards who don't study hard at the back of the school, especially Juvia. If he didn't pay attention, he stuck to Suyu's side. But for Juvia, Haki or something is really optional. After all, she is a water element, Grandmaster Water Magic. She can overcome all abilities. Erza is more of a swordsman type, and mastering the power of Haki will greatly benefit her. As for Suyu himself, from the beginning to the end, I never thought about practicing Haki. His Lightning Dragon Slayer magic is similar to Logia's abilities. Thunderbolt, which has the highest attack power, can cause damage to most elements. Secondly, the strong in One Piece world don't use sea stone weapons, but Suyu can use it. At last, the way for Suyu to improve his strength is to upgrade the guild. Maybe when the guild level up will give Suyu Haki's skills. If you can get it directly, why bother to practice hard? It's better to lie flat and stick with your sister. President Erza, who had finished thanking Crocus, seemed to have thought of something, and suddenly let out a loud cry. What's wrong? Under the parasol, Suyu, who was Juvia on the left and Mirajan on the right, asked lazily. It suddenly occurred to me that the client's remuneration should generally be collected after the commission is completed, but right now it is charged in advance, if it cannot be completed. No if. Suyu grinned resolutely. Don't worry, Erza, this commission will definitely be completed. Suyu stood up and walked in front of the whale Laboon. Laboon, this is my promise with you. Within a year, I will definitely bring back the Rumba pirates, so, before I come back, you must take good care of your body and stop hitting the red line meaninglessly. Got it? Got it? Suyu said. Jiao jiao jiao. Laboon barked 3 times in succession. Right now, he does seem a little handsome. Nami rested her cheeks in her hands and whispered to herself. Hey, I seem to hear someone say I'm handsome behind my back. Who is it? Suyu made a gesture of listening. Bah, I didn't say that. Nami spat lightly and quickly denied it. Next second, the feeling of being on the back hits. Stare tilde. Juvia secretly observes. JPG. While inheriting Lucy's Protoss magic, Nami also inherited Lucy's traditional art of being targeted by Juvia. Ha ha ha, girls, get ready to set sail. Suyu waved his hand. Fairy tale, set sail. Laboon, this time I have a hunch that maybe something good will happen. Crocus sighed. Jiao. Shortly after leaving Twin Point, President, let's sunbathe together again. Juvia cheered and let herself go. When I was in Gemini Point before, because of Crocus, Juvia was still a little restrained, usually well dressed. Now, finally out to sea. Juvia flicked her slender hand impatiently, and the skirt flew off. Wearing only a sexy blue handwritten nipple, showing off her proud figure, she has no scruples in sticking to Suyu. Watching this scene, Nami blushed and her heart beat faster. President, please help Juvia apply sunscreen, the kind that covers the whole body. Juvia asked earnestly. Yes. Suyu shook his head. Take the sunscreen. Not started yet. Next second, boom, there was an explosion in the sky. The clear sky is dominated by dark rain clouds. The pouring rain poured down. Juvia's plan to get Suyu to apply sunscreen on the pretext of sunbathing went bankrupt on the spot. Why did it suddenly rain? Juvia didn't want it to rain. Juvia looked disappointed, frustrated and puzzled. Of course I know it's not Juvia's rain. This is the Grand Line, and the changeable weather is one of the biggest features here. Suyu explained. The voice fell. The pouring rain suddenly stopped. Immediately afterwards, goose feathers and heavy snow fell. Then came the storm. Finally, the giant hailstone. Just a few minutes. The harsh climate continues to change, but there is no big obstacle to Suyu and his party. Be it hail or icebergs at sea, all were defeated by Xion Thunder. Okay, let's go back to the house. Don't freeze. Suyu casually picked up Juvia and walked into the cabin. Yes. With a happy smile on Juvia's pretty face, she put her slender arms round Suyu's neck. President, Juvia's body is all wet. Can you help Juvia dry it? Juvia whispered shyly. For a trivial matter of this level, how can you use the president? Let me help you. Erza smiled slightly. Take Juvia from Suyu. Hey. Erza stretched her arms, spinning and throwing. Juvia's body suddenly spun in midair like a drum washing machine. Is it enough? If it's not enough, do it again. Hey, enough is enough. Hey, there is a joyful atmosphere in the guild. How is it? Nami, this is fairy tale, and it will be more lively in the future. Suyu said. I'll be looking forward to it. Nami smiled slightly. Then the rest of the voyage will be left to you. Oh, put it on me. 2 days later. The first island since Fairy Tail landed on the Grand Line, Whiskey Peak. Here we come! Exclamation mark. Chapter 17. Take the Princess Vivi's first kiss! Exclamation mark. The evening of the 3rd day after leaving Cape Twins, Fairy Tail has finally landed on its first island since entering the Grand Line. What is that? A cactus? It's so big. It's almost like a mountain. Looking at the scene in the distance, Nami's eyes widened in surprise. It should be a mountain that looks like a cactus. Erza nodded. Either way, It's fun. Mira Jane smiled. Juvia is satisfied as long as she can be with the president. Juvia clung to Suyu with an info face. Is it finally here? Whiskey Peak. I wonder if I can see those two people? The corner of Suyu's mouth curled up. For the huge cactus island not far away. Of course, Suyu knows best, because this is the island that Straw Hat Crew walked by. Welcome to the island of pirates. Whiskey Peak said to welcome pirates, but in fact this is a trap set by the bounty hunters of Bbook Work Agency specifically for newcomer pirates. On the surface, they are welcoming, but in fact they use the banquet to get the inexperienced pirates drunk and make them relax their vigilance. In the end, they were taken down without bloodshed. Ron chose to take this route not because I want to revisit other people's routes. By contrast, he prefers to explore a strange island that Straw Hat Crew has never set foot on. Only, there is a main mission on this route. If it can be received and completed, it will surely upgrade the guild. In order to upgrade, Suyu just came here, ready to try to trigger the main line. Fairy Tail enters the Whiskey Peak River. In the Misty Shore hideout, there are only a few figures. That's the bounty hunters watching from the shadows. There are pirates coming again. No, it doesn't seem to be a pirate ship. There is no skull flag. Speaking of which, the logo seems a little familiar to me. Ah, that's Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail, what's that? Didn't you watch the news, idiot? That's the team that East Blue has made a name for themselves recently. Suyu, the president of Fairy Tail, that man was offered a reward of 80 million by Marine Nani. 80 million? This is really great. If I can win the 80 million, I will definitely be able to upgrade to a digital agent. Idiot, don't act trashly, act according to Mr. 8's plan. The bounty hunters were all talking in low voices. Fairy Tail. There seemed to be quite a few people on the shore. Erza looked solemn, grasped the hilt of her sword, and entered the posture of preparing for battle. Fine. Suyu waved his hand. Next second, the people hiding on the bank appeared together and gathered on both sides of the river. Enthusiastic cheers exploded. Welcome to the Grand Line. Welcome to the hospitable town of Whiskey Peak. People cheered enthusiastically. Erza was stunned, although she didn't hear the conversation of the bounty hunters. But judging from the faint breath, it is also known that the comer is not good. But now, could it be that people in this town recognize us as Fairy Tail and want to entrust us? Nami guessed. Possible. Mirajan nodded. President, what is this? Well, take one step at a time. They are willing to welcome, then we will take it. Suyu smiled slightly. Ship stock in port. A man with exaggerated aristocratic curly hair came in front of Suyu and his party. Well. The man cleared his throat. My name is Actione and I am the mayor of Whiskey Peak, a town of brewing and music, and entertaining guests is something we are most proud of. I Calum, the digital agent Mr. 8 of the Bbook Work Agency and the captain of the Alabasta Guard, greeted warmly. For his warm hospitality, Suyu did not refuse, but smiled. A raucous banquet of wine unfolded in the town tavern. Well. Actione cleared his throat habitually. Although we have many beautiful hostesses here, President Suyu probably doesn't need it. Erza, Mirajan, Juvia, Nami, no matter which one is a first-class beautiful girl. Here at Whiskey Peak, there is only one girl who can compare with them. The seat next to the president belongs to Juvia. Juvia was like a suckling swallow returning to her nest and pounced on Suyu. However, this time, but Suyu didn't catch her. Well, if possible, I really want the girl over there to have a few drinks with me. Suyu pointed to the blue-haired girl in the crowd. TCH, are you tired of playing with the women around you and want to change? And you just fell in love with Princess Vivi at a glance? Really worthy of 80 million. Actione gritted his teeth secretly. As the captain of the Kingdom Guard, how could he just watch the princess being treated lightly by others? Just as Actione was thinking about the reason to shirk. Okay, President Suyu. The blue-haired beautiful girl comparable to Nami and others, Vivi, the princess of Alabasta, smiled sweetly and responded with a smile. Immediately, under Juvia's envious eyes, she sat down next to Suyu. A year ago, as a princess, in order to find out the cause of the drought in the country for years, she sneaked into the Bbook Work Agency undercover. It took a year of hard work to get to where I am today. If you can get the 80 million in front of you, her status in the organization will definitely be able to rise to a higher level. Then we can get closer to the truth and save Alabasta from the fire. All for Alabasta! Don't be so stiff, miss. Suyu hugged Vivi's shoulders carelessly, and put the belt in his arms. Ha, President Suyu, please drink. Vivi handed out the wine glass with a smile. If you want me to drink, that's not enough. Suyu shook his head. Then how does President Suyu want to drink? Asked Vivi. If there is a beautiful woman's kiss, even a barrel of wine, I can do it. Suyu Haki's grin. Heard the words. Vivi's delicate body froze again. Just a moment of hesitation. Anyway, this guy is not bad. For 80 million, I will fight. Vivi closed her eyes and made up her mind. The delicate red lips quickly pecked Suyu's face, leaving a faint lip mark. This is already the limit of what she can do. To this, Suyu is also clear. No further advances. Ha. Xiao serve the wine. Chapter 18 Eat Vivi all over! Whiskey Peak. The noisy banquet is in full swing. Continued cup. At the sofa booth, Suyu heroically drank his 20th glass of spirits. Wow, President Suyu is so amazing. Vivi applauded again and again. Ha ha ha, it's still early. Suyu laughed. A pair of unrestrained appearance. This moment, adjacent dining table. Woo woo woo. Juvia whimpered and burst into tears. Obviously they all have blue hair. Why did the president choose that girl? Could it be that the president is already bored with me? Gudong gudong. Juvia took one drink after another, drowning her sorrows in alcohol. Okay, Juvia, don't worry about that bad man. Let's just take care of ourselves. Nami hugged Juvia and comforted her softly. Aside, Erza and Mirezen looked at each other, and both shook their heads helplessly. Been with Suyu for several months. They are very clear about Suyu's temper. When something goes wrong, there must be a demon. Although I don't know what's going on. But they knew that Suyu's move must have his own intentions. Today's unrestrained appearance is only a superficial disguise. After drinking for 30 rounds, it was early morning. Finally, one more. Boom. Suyu fell down on the wine table, completely drunk. The other side. Erza, Mirajan, Nami and Juvia also passed out drunk on the table. Certainly, only Juvia was really drunk among them. Well. The curly-haired man Actione cleared his throat habitually. It really took us a lot of effort. It really deserves 80 million. Actione swept around in a flustered manner. In order to put Suyu down on the wine table, the bounty hunters in the whole town are already down. It is unheard of for one person to drink with nearly 100 people. However, I finally won the 80 million yuan. Princess Vivi also breathed a sigh of relief. If it continues before, she didn't know if she could hold back. Because Suyu's hand became more and more dishonest after drinking too much. At first he just put his arms around her shoulders. Later, not just shoulders, face, neck, belly, thighs. Except for the most critical places, almost everything else was eaten. It's simply princess humiliation. Af. Well, why Miss Wednesday, I really wronged you, Actione said apologetically. No, it's okay, everything is for the cause. Vivi opened her mouth firmly. Mr. 8, the only bad guy is this man. The girls over there must have been kidnapped by him, and they must be properly settled in the future. I see. Actione waved his hand. Several bounty hunters waiting outside the door came in with ropes and were about to tie up Suyu. However, the moment their hands touched Suyu, without warning, the bodies of several bounty hunters jerked. Then he fell straight to the ground, with burnt black smoke coming out of his mouth. Nani. Actione's pupils shrank suddenly, and he quickly led Vivi back, watching the drunk Suyu vigilantly and suspiciously. Good moment. See, Suyu remained motionless. Actione waved again. Several more bounty hunters stepped forward. However, it fell to the ground straight as always. What the hell did this guy do? Mr. 9, holding two metal bats, swallowed nervously. Although it is to be captured alive, it's okay to be injured a little bit. Miss put on the knuckles and took off the nun's clothes on Monday, revealing her dark and muscular body, and threw Suyu mercilessly. Boom. The wine table was broken under the power of the strange woman Miss Monday. But what a coincidence. In his sleep, Suyu just stretched out and fell asleep on the sofa. Next time I won't have such good luck. The black-skinned strange girl Miss will punch again on Monday. Boom, boom. Miss Monday's fist hasn't dropped yet. She herself was sent away first by Suyu's turning fist. I don't believe it. As digital agents, we can't even kill a sleeping guy. Mr. 9 performs backflip acrobatics and hits Suyu with a backflip. Next second, boom. Tragedy repeated itself. Mr. 9 was kicked by Suyu in his sleep and flew hundreds of meters away. Bastard 80 million, you didn't fall asleep at all. Actione's pupils shrank suddenly, finally confirming this fact. Master Vivi, hurry up, I'll hold him back. Now that it is clear that Suyu is still awake, playing with him from beginning to end, the last thing Actione can do is cover the princess escape. After all, the other party is a big pirate with a reward of 80 million. In a head-to-head confrontation, they have no chance of winning. Pat clap clack. Actione tugged on his tie. Several cannon barrels protruded from his curly hair, about to fire. Uncle, I advise you not to act rashly. Erza spoke lightly. I don't know when. She was already blocking the door, pointing her sword at Vivi. Ilashaw, don't hurt that girl. She is not a bad person. Mirajan spoke. I know. Erza nodded. When I pretended to be asleep earlier, Vivi told Actione to arrange them properly. These words are not false. Let me just say, how could there be a town that welcomes pirates in this world? You should be bounty hunters. Nami said with a smile. You dare to attack our fairy tale? It seems that you have already made up your mind. We lost. I have nothing to say. It's up to you to kill or kill. I just hope you can let Miss Wednesday go. Actione completely gave up resistance. How to deal with you? It doesn't matter what I said. Everything depends on the meeting. Wait a minute, President. Why are you still sleeping? Wake up. Nami leaned close to Suyu's ear and growled loudly. Yeah, it's really hard to get a good night's sleep. On the sofa, Suyu stretched and finally opened his eyes. Chapter 19. We Are Fairy Tale. The first stop on the Grand Line, Whiskey Peak. After some twists and turns, Alabasta mainline quest triggers. Then, first report your names and identities, Suyu asked knowingly. He is naturally the clearest about the identities of Vivi and Actione. But Alusa and the others don't know. so it's necessary to ask. My name is Actione, and the code name of the digital agent of the Bbook agency is Mr. 8. I'm Vivi, and the code name of Bbook's agency is Miss Wednesday. Actione and Vivi spoke one after another. Bbook Works? Is this an organization? Mirojan asked. Yes, Actione nodded. Bbook Work Agency is a criminal company of the Grand Line. It is engaged in, the ultimate goal of the company is to build an ideal town. The reason why everyone works so hard is because, in order to save the life of the Princess Vivi, Harem did not hide the slightest thing, and revealed everything about the Bbook Locke office. Wait a moment, you just said that you don't know the identity of the boss. You don't know who you are working for? It is obviously a work company, but you don't even know who the boss is. You must be lying to us. Nami narrowed his eyes slightly, staring closely at the two of them. It's true, the purpose of the Bbook Work Agency is to be mysterious, and only one person in the entire organization knows the identity of the boss. Vivi said hastily. Who? Erza raised an eyebrow. Miss Sunday, she is the partner of the boss. Vivi replied. Miss Sunday? Well, this kind of thing is irrelevant, but you, since you have taken action against us, and now you have failed, you should pay a price. Where is your little treasury? Nami rubbed his hands together. His eyes took the shape of money. But soon, Nami's pretty face collapsed again, because this bounty hunter base is also poor and white. Almost all the money collected from pirates in the past has been handed over to the top. They haven't opened for a long time, and the first order they waited for was Suyu and his party. Hey Miss Vivi. Mirojan walked up to Vivi and took Vivi's little hand. I can feel that you should be a kind girl. Why do you want to commit crimes? Vivi bit her lips tightly, shook her head, and said nothing. Do you still want to keep concealing it? You have another identity besides the members of the Bbook Work Club. The Vivi Princess of Alabasta and the captain of the guard Actione, Suyu said lightly. Princess Vivi and Actione suddenly looked up and looked at Suyu in disbelief. Obviously it was the first time we met. Obviously they didn't say anything. But, Suyu revealed their true identities in one go. Nani, the Princess of Alabasta, Nami, Erza and Mirojan couldn't help being surprised. The princess is the princess of a country. Why does the dignified princess join a criminal association? Erza was even more confused. No. Princess Vivi is not Alabasta. Actione was in disarray, incoherent. Forget it, Actione. Vivi shook her head with a wry smile. That's right, I am indeed the princess of Alabasta, and the reason why I joined the Bbook Work Club is all because of. Now when Suyu sees it through completely, Vivi no longer hides. Consider the current predicament that Alabasta is suffering from, and the purpose of joining the Bbook Work Agency is fully informed. For the sake of the country, she did not hesitate to drop her status, join a criminal company, and investigate the truth behind the country's civil strife. She is really an amazing princess. Mirojan looked moved. Since this is the case, why not make it clear from the beginning? Erza said. Sure, because the president of our family is the big murderer who offers a reward of 80 million. It is not uncommon in this seat to kidnap a princess and demand a huge ransom from the kingdom. Nami explained the reason. I see. Erza nodded knowingly. Because Suyu is a bounty criminal, so Vivi and Actione naturally treated them as pirates. If it was a guild that knew the nature of their fairy tale, their choices would be different. But, Erza looked at Suyu. She knew that all of this should be under Suyu's control. Or rather, this was Suyu's purpose from the very beginning. Just as Erza expected. Then, it's almost time to talk about what needs to be talked about. And now it's time to get to the point. Suyu looked at the Princess Vivi. Now, there are two roads before you. I choose the way that Vivi-sama can return to Alabasta safely. If I say it, it doesn't matter anyway. Actione quickly raised his hand to answer. Let's listen first before answering. Mirojan reminded. First of all, the first thing, you and us parted ways. Just pretend you haven't seen each other. Although you have plotted against us, you can still treat us to a meal, and the grievances will be wiped out. Suyu said. Good man. Vivi and Actione thought at the same time. Then, what about the second one? Actione asked weakly. Although I really want to choose the first one immediately, but curiosity drove him to ask the question. Suyu didn't speak, but glanced at Mirojan. Mira recalled that she took out a pen and paper from her small bag and handed it to Vivi. This. Calem suddenly wanted to cry but had no tears, wishing to give himself two big mouths. What a mouth. What are you asking? No, something went wrong as soon as you asked. The other party obviously wanted them to write a letter to the king, ready to ask for a ransom. Miss Vivi, please write down what you want to entrust here. Mirojan said. I know ... Huh? Question mark. Vivi and Calem who were just about to write a letter were taken aback. Don't you understand? A power of attorney. A power of attorney. What you want Fairy Tail to do? Nami explained. Vivi and Actione remained motionless. Vivi, don't you want to investigate and solve the root cause of the country's civil strife? This kind of matter can be left to us. Of course, if you want to do it yourself, we also respect your choice and will not interfere again. Erza said. Why? You. Who the hell are you? Vivi whispered unconsciously. We are Fairy Tail. Suyu smiled slightly. Chapter 20 The Poor Princess Vivi. Learn and sell Nami now. So this is Fairy Tail. Did I use up all my luck to meet Fairy Tail? Vivi murmured softly. From the narration of Erza and Mirajan, she finally knew what kind of organization Fairy Tail was. Simply put, if you have difficulties, I will help you. Miss Vivi, have you decided? Do you want to entrust us to help? Mirajan asked with a smile. Oh, yes. Yes. Vivi nodded like a chicken pecking rice. Pick up a pen and scribble down what you want to entrust on the power of attorney. Is this ... Is this all right? Vivi asked nervously. I always feel that writing a few words can get a powerful helper, which is a bit unreal. Of course it's not good. First let's discuss the commission money, my lord princess. Nami rubbed her little hands. Her eyes turned into the shape of money again. Oh, it should be. Vivi nodded quickly. Then, how much can her lady princess give for this entrustment? Asked Nami. 50. 500,000 berry, is that enough? Vivi asked weakly. This is the limit of what she can personally come up with. As a princess of a country, Nami thinks that Vivi is very rich. However, actually, the private money of the princess Vivi is only 500,000 berry. Unaware of this, Nami's mouth twitched, thinking that he had met his opponent. She initially bid 1,000,000 berry for the village. However, Vivi is a princess of a country, obviously able to take risks for the country. But when it comes to money, he is extremely stingy. Well, my lord princess, 1,000,000 berry. Don't you think this remuneration is slightly inconsistent with what you entrusted? Are your alabasters only worth 500,000? Nami imitated Suyu's appearance back then, looking at Vivi with a half smile. This ... I know it too, but I really only have 500,000. Vivi said weakly. Everyone from Fairy Tail, please make an offer. Actione said bluntly. In this case, then I'm not being polite. We want this number. Nami held out 2 fingers. 2 million. Vivi's eyes lit up. Her private money is 500,000. There is a gap of 1.5 million left, so it is not difficult to find someone to borrow it. However, no. Nami shook her head. Then, 20 million? Actione asked tentatively. At this price, it can only be spent from the treasury. Although Alabasta's current finances are already very difficult, it must be paid for the sake of the country. However, Nami still shook his head. It can't be 200 million. Realizing this possible I clame numb. However, Nami's real offer was 10 times what they guessed. 2 billion. As long as 2 billion, the president will definitely help you remove all threats and obstacles beautifully. Nami said seriously. 2 billion. Vivi's and Actione's eyes widened at the same time. Alabasta, already financially strapped. If another 2 billion is spent, even if the threat of civil unrest can really be eliminated by then, countless people in the country will die because of poverty. This asking price has exceeded the limit that Alabasta can bear today. But, if refused, can they alone stop the root cause of the civil unrest? If civil strife breaks out in full scale, more people will die. This is a dilemma. Actione cannot make a decision. Vivi dare not make a decision. Nami. Erza frowned slightly. I think Nami's asking price is too outrageous. It's not Fairy Tail style. But she didn't wait for her to speak. Mirajan on the side raised her hand to grab Erza and shook her head. For what is happening now? Mirajan knows best. Not so long ago, the same thing happened to Nami once. And, it's not over yet. Of course, I also know that being in a country with civil strife is already difficult enough, and I can't afford so much for a while. But the guild supports installment payment. The down payment is 1 berry, and the remaining 1.999,999 berry can work part-time and pay back slowly. Nami learns and sells now. Apply to Vivi what Suyu once used to her. Huh? Can I really pay a berry first? Vivi seemed a little unbelievable. Even if it really cost 1 berry to complete the commission, she was still dizzy all over. Okay, since I have accepted the commission, let's go without delay. Suyu stood up. Erza and Mirajan supported the drunk Juvia and followed closely behind. Hey, President. Nami trotted forward cheerfully, triumphantly. What's up? Suyu asked calmly. I was the leader of the gang just now, and you negotiated a big deal of 2 billion yuan. Shouldn't there be rewards? For example, what kind of share? Little money fan. Nami rubs her fingers. I originally planned to ask for a price of 10 billion. Suyu said casually. Huh? Nami froze in place. As for Vivi's legs in the rear, his legs softened. Thanks to Gup, the running duck, as a support. That's why it didn't fall. One by one. 10 billion. President, are you serious? Nami thought she was greedy enough. But unexpectedly, can there be fakes? So the difference of 8 billion in the middle has to be added to your head, and now you owe me 10 billion minus 1 berry. Suyu said seriously. Alas, Nami, people are stupid. He volunteered and negotiated a big deal. The result is an inexplicable 8 billion more debts. 10 billion berry? Even if she doesn't eat or drink, she won't finish 3 lives. No dear President, don't play like this. Ahahaha, just kidding. Chapter 21. Suyu wants to talk to Robin. Day and night. Fairy Tail rides the waves. Drive straight toward Alabasta. Permanent pointer? Is this any different from the record pointer in my hand? Nami asked curiously. The record pointer will point to the next island after the magnetic force of a place is full, but the permanent pointer will permanently record the magnetic force of an island, and never point to that place forever. Vivi explained concisely. So that's why, no wonder my record pointer is different from this pointer. Nami nodded knowingly. So, if we follow the record pointer, where is our next destination? Erza asked curiously. Probably the little garden of Primordial Island. Actione spoke solemnly. I've been to that island once after I joined Locke Works. It's not a good place. Oh, Erza became interested. If Miss Erza is interested, I can tell you that Primordial Island, as the name suggests, is an ancient island that retains the ancient climate. Dinosaurs that have become extinct in the outside world still exist there, but Actione changed the subject. On that island, there are creatures more dangerous than dinosaurs. Nani, more dangerous than a dinosaur? What? A real dragon? Nami said in surprise. It's a titan. 2 titans. In Legendary, that is the captain of the giant pirates who was famous for his cruelty 100 years ago. Everyone has a reward of 100 million. Actione narrated. Gudong tilde. Nami and Vivi swallowed at the same time. The titans of this world, I really want to fight against each other. Erza said. There will always be opportunities in the future. Let's forget this time. Suyu said. Erza nodded obediently. Everyone, good morning. It hurts. It hurts. My head hurts. A hungover Juvia rubbed her temples and went downstairs. Next second, Juvia shuddered suddenly. Eyes locked on Vivi. Woo, it's you, the woman who stole the president. I want to fight you. Juvia's eyes were red on the spot. Thinking of how Vivi was in Suyu's arms last night, Juvia almost overflowed with jealousy. On the spot, it was time to duel with Vivi. Juvia, wait, calm down a little bit. Princess Vivi is now our client. Erza and Mirajan hurried forward, blocking Juvia from left to right. 5 minutes later, Juvia also finally understood the cause and effect of everything. Last night ... Did so much happen last night after I was drunk? Juvia was dumbfounded. After a while, Juvia pursed her lips, stood up and came to Vivi. Well, Miss Vivi, I'm really sorry, I was the one who was rude earlier. No, if Miss Juvia is there, I have something bad too. Vivi waved his hand awkwardly. Miss Vivi, I will definitely do my best for your entrustment, Juvia said firmly. No, don't rush to refuse. To solve your country's problems, Juvia's power is crucial, Suyu said. A week later, Fairy Tail sails into a sea with a calm climate and magnetic field. This means that they have come near a large island. Another half hour later, a huge island appeared in people's sight. Grand Line Santing Island, Alabasta has arrived. About the action plan after landing. It was clear during this week. Nowadays, Vivi does not yet know the identity of the people behind the Bbook agency. The only breakthrough is the boss partner Missile Sunday. So, let Vivi and Actione lead the way to the hidden stronghold of the Locke Works in Alabasta. Then, on the grounds of important information, he induced Missile Sunday to come, took him down, and opened a breakthrough. The battle plan is simple. The key to success is Missile Sunday. Soon, the meeting letter was sent. Don't worry, Vivi, there is a president here. No matter who it is, there will be no return. Looking at Vivi who was frowning nervously, Nami spoke to comfort her. No, Nami, that's not what I'm worried about. Missile Sunday is a very cautious and intelligent woman. She can manage the organization in a seamless manner. She may have seen through our plan at a glance. Vivi worried. It's useless to worry about this kind of thing. Anyway, just wait. If it doesn't work, just find the president. Erza said. 3 days ago, when this plan was proposed, Erza noticed the change in Suyu's expression. She knew that Suyu must know many secrets that they did not know. The fact is just as Urshaw expected. Who is the behind-the-scenes boss of Bbook agency? Suyu is naturally very clear. But he still decided to carry out this operation because he wanted to talk to Missile Sunday Nika Robin. Time passed bit by bit. In a blink of an eye, the next night came. Just when Vivi almost gave up. There were hurried footsteps outside the secret base. A huge tortoise arrives pulling a luxurious frame. That's Pinky the turtle. Missile Sunday is here. Vivi cheered up and spoke excitedly. Chapter 22 Invite Robin to join Fairy Tail. Alabasta, Bbook Stronghold. What a grand welcome ceremony, Miss Wednesday, Mr. 8. Or I should call you Alabasta's Princess Vivi and Guard Captain Actione. The black-skinned beauty in a sun hat and tight leather jacket smiled and spoke. There was no surprise or panic about the situation where he was surrounded. Missile Sunday, do you know who I am? Vivi's beautiful eyes widened, and she was startled suddenly. Well, from the day you joined the Bbook agency a year ago, I knew that you and Mr. 8 were able to upgrade to digital agents in such a short period of time, thanks to my support. Robin said unhurriedly. What did you say? Vivi's heart was even more shocked. The other party knew her identity from the very beginning. However, he pretended not to know. Their actions have been under Bbook's watchful eye since the beginning. If they hadn't met Suyu, what would have happened to them in the end? Vivi can't imagine it, but it is conceivable that the ending will not be too happy. Since you know our identities, why didn't you attack us? Actione snapped. For the sake of the country, I don't hesitate to risk my own life. The strong princess who undercovers the hostile criminal company, even I, can't bear to destroy your hopes. Robin smiled. Hey, Miss Missile Sunday, my intuition tells me that you are not a bad person. Mirajan spoke instinctively. No, Miss Mirajan, I'm different from you. I'm a very, very bad woman," Robin said seriously. "You know me?" Mirojan was taken aback. Fairy Tail Guild, Captain Suyu's first bounty was to reach 80 million berry. Fairy Queen Erza left a lot of legendaries in East Blue. Miss Mirojan is also famous for her beauty. Robin spoke eloquently. No, where is it? My beauty or something?" Mirezen blushed slightly. "Miss Myra, don't be led into this guy's rhythm," Nami solemnly reminded. "You may have conducted a thorough investigation of us, but it was all in vain. You have been surrounded, and you cannot escape today," Juvia shouted. "Surrounded? Am I surrounded by you, or are you surrounded by me?" Robin asked back. "Nani, is there still an ambush? How many people have you brought?" Nami was shocked suddenly. Robin chuckled. "Don't be nervous, it's just a joke. I came here alone today." "You know it's a trap, but you still come here alone?" Erza looked at Robin suspiciously. "Hey, because I'm a little bit interested in Fairy Tail in Legendary and your president." Robin rode. "Hey, what a coincidence. I was just about to chat with Miss Robin." Suyu pushed the door out and walked in front of Robin unhurriedly. "President Suyu, it's true that seeing is believing. He is more handsome in real life than in photos," Robin exclaimed. "There's no need to say more about being polite. Let's get straight to the point. Miss Robin, do you want to consider changing jobs and joining our fairy tale?" For a smart woman like Robin, Suyu didn't have any twists and turns, and sent out invitations to join the club straightforwardly. As soon as the words came out, immediately everyone was shocked. "President, what does this mean?" "It's different from the plan." "Why did you invite that woman?" "That woman is the vice boss of the opposing faction." Nami, Erza, Juvia and others couldn't help being shocked. Mirez Hendai frowned slightly, and after a while, she relaxed again, as if she had thought of something. She hurriedly made several gestures towards Ursula and the others. "I see." Erza and the others also understood Mirojan's hint. "It is only a bad idea to subdue them directly by force and force them to submit. Attacking the heart is the real best policy. If Robin does join, then they can cooperate from inside to outside. It's easy to take down the entire Bbook agency, as expected of the president." At this moment, all the girls unanimously entered Iwa's thinking. If Suyu knew what they were thinking, he would definitely look confused, because he really didn't think that much. The reason for sending an invitation to Robin, it's entirely because she is one of the members of the protagonist group, and she's a capable big sister. If Robin joins in, it is bound to be of great benefit to the management of the guild. Also, get lost in this pirate world. In any case, one thing that cannot be avoided is the historical text. Although Suyu is not interested in the throne of One Piece or anything, but he was equally interested in the final island and the inner piece, the great secret treasure mentioned by One Piece Roger before his death. If possible, of course I would like to see it for myself. To get to Raftel, Robin is indispensable. Chapter 23 Suyu kisses Vivi, Juvia explodes. "How about it, Miss Robin? Do you want to consider changing jobs? The treatment of our fairy tale is definitely better than when you were in Bbook work agency." Suyu invited again. Another moment of silence. "Cool." Robin let out a long breath and shook his head slightly. "Even someone as smart as I didn't expect this." "Join fairy tale? Seems like a good choice." But she came to Alabasta, with the purpose of cooperating with Clocktar and no chancellor. "Also, President Suyu, since you know my identity, you shouldn't be unclear. I am a troublesome woman. Inviting me to join your guild will bring you countless troubles." Robin rode. "This kind of thing is not a problem at all. Fairy Tail is never afraid of trouble." Suyu Haki spoke confidently. "If Fairy Tail was afraid of trouble, it wouldn't be Fairy Tail. Everyone in Fairy Tail is the most important family member. We will never let anyone who hurts the family go." "This is Fairy Tail," Suyu said firmly. "Family, this is too extravagant for the hopeless me," Robin whispered softly. Suyu raised his eyebrows. "No, it's nothing. I have to say, President Suyu's invitation is very tempting, but if you go against it like this, won't President Suyu think that I am a casual woman?" Robin asked back. "Not at all." Suyu didn't hesitate. "Robin, sincerity is the strongest nirvana." Suyu answered so bluntly that she couldn't help it for a while. Robin could feel it. Suyu was really inviting her. It's different from any organization she's been with so far. The man in front of him really invited her from the bottom of his heart and wanted her to be his partner. "It's obviously the first time we met, but Suyu seems to be very familiar with her." "Of course, I don't want to reply right now." "Miss Robin, you can go back and think about it for a few days, and it won't be too late for me to reply," Suyu said generously. "Let me go back like this? Don't you want information about the boss?" Robin raised his eyebrows in surprise. "Unnecessary." Suyu waved his hand nonchalantly. "However, I'd like to ask Miss Robin to bring me a message. Just say that I will give him 3 days to surrender to Marine. If he doesn't want to go, I will send him there." "I see." Robin turned and went out, boarded the luxury car frame, and disappeared into the night. Until watching Robin go away, only then did Nami, Vivi and the others come back to their senses. All of them looked at each other in blank dismay. Is this the end? It seems to know something. It seems that they don't know anything. "President, Have you achieved your goal? Erza asked. Suyu nodded. Just wait for the rest in 3 days. See, neither Nami nor Vivi asked any more. Although I don't know what kind of medicine is sold in Suyu's gourd, I always feel at ease. Since Suyu said to wait for 3 days, then wait for 3 days. Early the next morning, Fairy Tail sets sail around the Alabasta border to the port city of Narahara. After purchasing the necessary living supplies for 3 days, Fairy Tail sails again, follow the Sandoro River all the way up. Eventually it stops along the east coast. Then, Lord Vivi, Karu and I will return to Albana first and report to the king. After saying that, Calem rushed towards the capital on the super-fast running duck Karu. The Fairy Tail sailed away from shore, eventually came to the center of the Sandora River. This is probably the center of the entire Alabasta. But President Suyu, what are we doing here? Vivi asked puzzled. Rain. Suyu said casually. Vivi, isn't the root cause of your Alabasta's civil strife just because of successive years of severe drought? So I'm going to give you Alabasta a rain that will cover the whole country. Suyu further explained. Vivi, as Suyu said, drought is the root cause of civil unrest. If there can be a heavy rain covering the whole country, then all the rumors will be self-defeating. All problems will be easily solved. Only, whether it rains or not is God's decision. How should mortals interfere? Juvia, let it rain. Suyu said. Yes, President. Juvia agreed. She is a genius of water magic and has awakened water magic since she was a child. But because he couldn't fully control his talent, it kept raining where he was. For Juvia, rain is as simple as everyday food. Blue's magic swept over like Uzumaki. The sky was clear just a second ago. At this moment, it was suddenly overcast. Crash. Rain, pouring down. It's really raining. This. What is it? Witnessing this miraculous scene with her own eyes, Vivi was completely stunned. Juvia, continue to expand the scope. Suyu said. Yes, President Tilda. Juvia mobilized her magic power, causing the rain cloud to spread rapidly in all directions. However, there is still a limit. Juvia and the others on the Fairy Tail have infinite magic power, so they don't need to worry about consumption. The problem is the amount of one-time output. Due to the limitation of strength, there is a limit to the magic power that Juvia can release at one time. Even if it is known as infinite magic power, it cannot expand the output. This point, even Suyu never expected. He had previously boasted that there would be a rain covering the whole country in Haiku. In this case, I can only try that trick. Suyu came to the dumbfounded Vivi. Vivi, if this rain wants to cover the whole country, we still need a little help from you. Where is the president? As long as it can rain, I can do anything. Vivi swears. Is it really possible to do anything? Suyu asked seriously. Vivi didn't hesitate. Then I'm offended. Suyu lowered his head abruptly. Caught Vivi Suramomo with her mouth in full view. Sudden attack. Vivi's beautiful eyes widened subconsciously. Her delicate body stiffened. Also frightened was Juvia, watching the man he loves kiss other women in front of his face. Juvia's whole body was exploded on the spot, breaking through the limit. Boom, rumble, thunder rumbled. The huge rain cloud expanded to the horizon in one breath, covering the entire Alabasta. Chapter 24 Alabasta rejoices. Locke is furious. The power of love is immeasurable. When witnessing the beloved man kissing her, I was in front of her face. Juvia, who couldn't see this scene the most, suddenly broke through the limit, expanded the rain cloud to the entire territory of Alabasta. This moment, all Alabasta, boil! Kingdom capital, Albana. King Cobra leaned weakly on the throne. His brows and eyes were full of exhaustion. Since becoming the king of Alabasta, he has worked hard to govern and is deeply loved by the people. But this is all past tense. During the past 2 years or so, in the whole kingdom, only the capital, Alba, receives occasional rain. People only think that it is because the heavens have pity on the benevolent government of the king. Consider it a special gift from heaven to Cobra, and be proud of it. But gradually, over time, rumors of King Cobra's unauthorized use of contraband dancing powder to plunder the rain intensified. My beloved daughter risked her life for the sake of the country. So far there is no news. As a king, he can't do anything. This feeling is simply hopeless. If anything could change all that. That is a rain! My lord, the rain. The rain is coming. The vice captain of the kingdom guard, Falcon Bell shouted excitedly. Is it only Albano again? There was no joy in King Cobra's eyes. Not this time, Lord Cobra. Bell gestured helplessly. Master Cobra, not only Albana, the capital of the kingdom, but also Yuba, Alma, and Katlia. Huge cumulonimbus clouds almost cover the entire kingdom. Nani. King Cobra, who was still weak before, widened his eyes and stumbled out of the hall. After seeing the cumulonimbus cloud that spread all the way to the end of the world, unprecedented joy and excitement occupied his whole body and mind. Lord Cobra, good news. Good news. Jackal Jaka came quickly. Jaka, if you want to report the rain, it's already a step too late. People all over the country have seen it. Bell laughed. No, it's not raining. It's Captain Ikaran. Captain Ikaran and Kalu are back. Jackal Jaka said. What? And what about Vivi? Is Vivi back too? King Cobra was very excited. Oasis Juba. Here is the famous oasis city of Alabasta. But now, under successive years of severe drought, this oasis is dying. Now, the rain. The rain is finally falling. Kautor, you brat. Keep your eyes open. Looking at the rain, can you still say that Master Cobra took everyone's rainwater? The emaciated old man Duochuo knelt in the rain, tears running down his face. It's raining. Are we really wrong? Koza, the young leader of the rebel army, murmured unconsciously. After 2 years of rain, make the whole Alabasta into a sea of excitement. Countless people rushed into the long-lost heavy rain at this moment, dancing for joy. People's excited shouts, laughter, and tears of joy were mixed with the ticking of rain. Echoes over the skies of Alabasta, enduring and melodious. However, not everyone is celebrating and rejoicing for this heavy rain. Dream City, Rainy Land. Is that all you talk about? Shikibukai Locke stared at Robin calmly. By the way, he even invited me to join, but I didn't agree. Robin rode. Gahaha, wise choice. Only by following me can you achieve your goal in this country. Locke smiled smugly. Robin nodded slightly. HMPH, what fairy tale? It's just a newcomer kid who doesn't know the heights of the sky and the earth. Let me surrender to the marine. I want to see, what can you do to me? Crocodile was holding a goblet, standing in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows, with a sneer on the corner of his mouth. However, next second, the smile on Locke's face froze. Because it's raining in Alabasta! Watching the sudden rain, Crocodile is completely stupid. The sound of rain, the cheers of the people in the rainland, in his ears, seem to be a mockery from the world to him. It's actually raining. This is a devastating blow to our plan. Robin made sarcastic remarks with a look of surprise. Who the hell did it? Crocodile shouted angrily, his face as black as the bottom of a pot. After 2 or 3 years of hard work, I returned to before liberation. His heart was bleeding. Alabasta capture plan. Ancient weapon Pluton capture plan. Everything was ruined by this heavy rain. I don't know how many years it will take to implement it again. What the hell is going on here? I've clearly locked all the moisture in the sky over this country with my sand fruit ability. Why is there still rain? Crocodile screamed in rage. The 3-year drought in Alabasta was not a natural disaster, but man-made. It was Kelkida who plundered the water vapor in the atmosphere with the ability of Lodius and sand fruit. Alabasta is the desert country of Summer Island, and there is not much rain. With Clock's ability, he can easily absorb the water vapor. But the rain came too fast, too suddenly, and there was nothing to stop it, and there was no way to stop it. Although I don't know how they did it, but Fairy Tail is probably the only one who may have caused this phenomenon. This is a gauntlet from the President Suyu. Robin analyzed with reason. Fairy Tail. Boom. The goblet in his hand burst, and the bloody red wine splashed down. Okay, since you guys want to play, then I will play with you. Enough. Nico Robin, call all advanced agents now. I want those guys to die without a burial. Chapter 25 Active Vivi. Happy Juvia. In the misty drizzle, Suyu and Vivi kiss affectionately. This scene is as romantic as an idol drama. At first, for Suyu's sudden kiss, Vivi is struggling and refusing. For her, this is an unprecedented first. The last time I was at Twisky Peak, just kissing Suyu on the cheek used up all her courage. Not to mention the mouth-to-mouth kind now. But after seeing the rain cloud expanding from their kiss, Vivi gradually stopped struggling and resisting. She knows it deeply and clearly how important this rain is to Alabasta. The fall of this rain will completely change the status quo of Alabasta and save countless lives. For the sake of the country, what is her little sacrifice worth? Besides, the relatives have already kissed. It doesn't matter how long it takes. With the mood of serving the country and the people, Vivi completely gave up resistance. Instead, immerse yourself in it, and even respond to it. 5 full minutes. This absurd romantic idol drama has finally come to an end. Haha. Vivi leaned against Suyu's arms weakly, trembling slightly. Well, it seems to be a success, Suyu said seriously. Vivi, let's go. Don't play with this bad man. Nami glanced at Suyu and helped Vivi back to the cabin. Anyway, it's a little too much this time, President. Erza said seriously. Isn't this for commission? Suyu grinned. As the president, you actually made your comrades cry. You must take full responsibility for this matter. If you don't cheer up Juvia, then you should resign. Mirajan put her hands on her hips and spoke angrily. Suyu scratched his head and walked up to Juvia. I'm sorry, Juvia, it's my fault this time, Suyu said apologetically. However, it has no effect. Juvia is now autistic and can't hear other people's voices. Anyway, go back to your room first, lest you catch a cold. Suyu picked up Juvia and sent her back to the room. Wait a minute, I'll get a towel. The moment Suyu turned around. Don't go, Chairman. Juvia hugged Suyu from behind, crying in her voice. I do not go. Suyu turned around. A big hand stroked Juvia's head. The president's embrace is so warm. The next day, morning, Suyu, who disappeared for nearly a day, reappeared in the sight of Nami and others. Ignoring all kinds of strange sights from the girls, Suyu sat silently in a corner of the guild and began to think about one thing. Woman, it's really made of water, especially Juvia. Really, President, you have to be considerate of us once in a while. How can you be like this? Juvia is a big girl, and last time, Mirajan brought a cup of coffee to Suyu and spoke helplessly. Suyu grinned and said nothing, thinking that this time it really wasn't his fault. It's Juvia who keeps refusing to. President, do you have any plans for today's itinerary? Nami came to Suyu and asked. No, what happened? Suyu replied. If not, then go to Uba. Now the headquarters of the rebel army is in Uba. Vivi wants to take advantage of the heat from yesterday's rain to lobby the rebels. Nami said. Can? Suyu nodded in response. But, what he doesn't understand is, why is Nami speaking? This kind of thing should be said by Vivi himself. Suyu looked at Vivi. Next second, Vivi, who noticed Suyu's gaze, quickly dodged away, and flew up to the red cloud unconsciously with a pretty face. After yesterday's close contact, Vivi no longer knew how to face Suyu. Suyu didn't pay too much attention to Vivi's strangeness. The fairy tail moved and docked. Nami and Vivi, who had already packed their bags, landed immediately. Look back. Suyu remained on the boat without moving. President, didn't you say that everyone is together? Asked Nami. I didn't say no. Suyu smiled slightly. Gravity magic is activated. Fairy tail shook slightly. Then, under the shocking eyes of Nami and Vivi, it broke away from the water and flew into the sky. Gone. Suyu manipulated the fairy tail with gravity, and flew slowly towards Juba. On the shore, Nami and Vivi froze in place, not recovering. A ship floating in the sea can still fly in the sky. Before seeing this kind of thing with their own eyes, they never even thought about it. This is fairy tale. It's amazing. Nami and Vivi couldn't help thinking in amazement. After a while, wait a moment, I haven't boarded the boat yet. After regaining his senses, Nami waved again and again. Uncle DA.jpg. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this. And join my Patreon if you want to support me, link in the description. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.